Yeah. Right.
All right, all right. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me get the camera on. Boom. And make this full screen. There we go. There we go. What up, what up? Let's
You're
raise this.
echoing.
Am I echoing?
Yeah.
Hey, chat, am I echoing? Like in the you seeing it from the stream?
Hold on, maybe.
But the chat don't hear no echo. Well, one, yeah. So you're probably hearing it from your headset, maybe?
Okay, hold on. Let me unplug.
It's probably from your headset. Yeah, the chat's saying that there's no echo. It's probably something in the setup. Windows. Hey, yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend is YouTube Streets, Puerto77. And we are back with another video. Wait, we're not talking about another video, another podcast. You know, something's automatic. We're here with another podcast. We are live. 60 Frames don't like, you know, we're doing it live, right? Of course, we got Craig in here, you know. Hopefully the rest of the crew. J-Dub said he'll be here in about 10 minutes. He's probably on Z's channel, beating down on some bots, you know. While he's here, let me show y'all something. Let me entertain y'all with this. This was funny. I saw this on Twitter. This shit is funny. Check this out. I want everybody to check this out. This shit is hilarious. You can't make this up. Look at that. Yo. Yo. I don't think there was ever a bigger embarrassment in any Olympics than that. That is embarrassing. But you know what? That is just straight. That is just straight. A perfect example of what happened this gen. Yo. That yo, whoever did this one got it on point. That is hilarious. Look at it, yo. Y'all see the full performance of that Australian woman doing breakdancing? Oh my god. Yo. Yo. You can tell, listen. You can tell.
It was crazy.
You can tell that everyone in that stand says, yep, this is the last breakdancing they're gonna have at the Olympics. Yep. Now, do you know how that happened? Because I read up on that. Do you know how that happened? Craig, you hear me? Hello, Craig? Craig?
Nah, do
Craig?
not.
You know how that, like, because everybody's saying, how did she get to the Olympics? Like, you got the qualifiers. So how, like, this can't be like the first time people notice that she doesn't really know professional breakdancing, right? Hello, Craig? I think Craig, man, you got your site checking the house. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what happened? Yeah. So what happened is, because this is the first official event, there is no actual official qualifying body for breakdancing, right? In terms of qualifiers. So what they did was they left it up to the organizations that deal with ballroom dancing and let them decide. And then the ballroom organization of each country would then submit their qualifiers in there, right? Now in Australia, apparently she or her husband owns like a ballroom, whatever. Right? So they held the qualifiers. And guess who won? Who you think her husband voted for? Her. He voted for her. So that's how she got the spot. This was all set up. Listen, man, if I was her husband, I'd be like, babe, I'm sorry, I love you, but we're not doing this. Like, listen. Oh, if you don't do it, we're getting divorced. I already called the lawyer. Lawyer's already called. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'd be like, girl, I'd be like, woman, you have my last name. You ain't going to embarrass my last name in front of the whole world. You out your mind. Nah, we're not doing this. You bugging. Like, I'm calling the lawyer. We getting that divorce right now. If you think I'm gonna lay your ass, like, you know what? Australia, we got nobody. We're not representing the Olympics for breakdancing. Boy, this was absolutely a mockery, bro. I don't know how the breakdancing community is just not shaming the shit out of her.
It was bad.
They should be thrashing her because they ruined everything. You know, because this could be a potential star to keep it going. But 2020, I mean, they already ruled out 2028, right? I mean, apparently 2023 for the Los Angeles, because the Olympics in Los Angeles, they kind of ruled it out. But if this would have been successful, they could have brought it back because it's not too late, you know, to bring it back. Especially Los Angeles, in New York, you know, America. Where breakdancing, you know, started in New York, but, you know, it's in America, right? But after this, if there was any chance of bringing this back in 2028, that shit died with Australia. Australia, you set us back 40 years in breakdancing. Listen, stick to hunting alligators and trying to fight the most dangerous animals out there. Keep boxing with kangaroos, but leave this shit out, bro. Don't b-boy. No b-boy, no b-girls. Like, please. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit's wild, bro. Man. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, this is wild.
It was pretty bad.
It was something, man. It was something. Anyway, hey, what's going on? Just a little sidebar here, right?
And right now I have like a 3 to 5 second echo.
Okay. You have a 3 to 5 second echo for me?
Delay.
Delay? Delay. Oh, between us two here on Discord?
Yeah.
How is that happening?
Yeah, I do. I do not know. I just reset everything here.
Let me see Extreme. Hold on. Hey, Extreme.
Yo.
Hey, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
So he doesn't have a delay. So yeah, it's you, Craig. Because Craig got a 5-second delay in the Discord.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got him?
I don't know.
They got him.
He probably unsubscribed from Gamepass, so they said fuck you.
Oh, get that YouTube Premium, man. Get that YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
Get what does Discord have? Nitrous or something?
I don't know what the hell happened. Like, he got a 5-second delay, because I talked to him and it takes like 5 seconds. I'm like, you there, Craig?
Oh,
so he's gonna back out, man. Hey, Australia. Hey,
yo,
Extreme.
Hey,
you said no, bro. You said us. You got to. Yes, you.
Listen.
Listen. But that's the thing. B-boy is black culture. So you gotta get this. This is on you. This is black culture. I'm Puerto Rican. It's black culture. B-boying is black culture. Puerto Ricans put a little seasoning, but hip hop, B-boying, you set us back 40 years, dog. Australia,
But-
y'all did too much. Stick to hunting the most dangerous animals. You got that shit on lock. Notice people in America, we be like, oh, we're in the woods hunting the most dangerous and we're going to kiss it on the lips. We don't do that in America. We know our lanes. We know our limitations.
Listen.
You don't know what to say.
I'm not saying nothing.
He's like, you know what? Next topic. Next topic.
You know what? I am reluctantly Australian this week. That's what it is.
Back to Cameroon. Cameroon. That's where you're from.
That's what I should say. I'm Cameroonian anyway.
I'm Cameroonian.
Exactly.
So
I'm Cameroonian.
We didn't embarrass. We didn't embarrass.
In fact, we helped you guys get medals. We got you with that.
MB in basketball.
Yeah. There you go.
That's why.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I knew you would like that one, because the crowd booed because the French, because they expected him to play for France, and he's like, "Fuck that."
Of course they did. Of course,
I knew you were like that. I knew. I'm like, oh, Extreme's gonna like this one.
Oh man, listen.
But
I'm Cameroonian this week, so that's what it is. In fact, I'm an expat. That's what it is.
He's an expat. Yep, you got to call yourself that. I'm an expat.
Yeah,
you're not an immigrant. Expat.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I'm an expat.
That's it.
That's what it is.
I love it, man. How you doing, brother? Oh man,
I'm doing good.
It's good. All right, winter's almost over for you, right?
Yes, actually, it's starting to get warmer. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. It's about to be fall. Nice? Oh, I'm sorry, autumn. It's
spring. We're coming into spring.
Oh no, wait, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm all fucked up.
You're gonna flip.
I'm all fucked up. That's right. Yeah. So it's spring for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we're just open.
And it's fall, or what you call autumn for us.
Yeah, exactly. Because our leaves don't fall. That's why we call it autumn.
Apparently, we keep things so stupid. Why the hell you guys call it fall? Because the leaves fall. That is such a kindergarten. That is such a baby way. That's such a baby way of looking at things. You're probably thinking America's so immature. You're probably thinking that is incredible.
No, I get that. I get that because it's like obviously what happened all around you, but most of the world has evergreen trees. So
that's true.
It never made sense to me before I realized that your trees are weak. They just
they shrivel in the winter. They're done. They're like they're like fuck this. We'll see you. They go hibernating. They're like we'll see you. Like you walk. Yeah, we can hear you. You can hear us.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. We're back. Now we're on sync. But yeah, you walk like already October, like the trees are falling off. All you see is dead branches, and it's like the perfect scene of a horror movie. It's like it's already starting. All right, but anyway, man, glad you guys here. Hey, yo, Craig. So what you been up to, real quick?
I'm just waiting for my birthday, so one more rotation around the sun. I won the EA College Championship game. I beat Oregon 33-17 was the final score. So
wait, you're talking about your single player campaign, or you joined the tournament?
The dynasty. So
okay.
Had to go through Kansas, then Georgia, which was I've been playing this college football game since like '95. That game against Georgia was the hardest game I've ever played. I won 27-24, but I had to have a last 90. It was 90 seconds left in the game, and I got the ball last ultimately, and I won. But it was so hard. So when I played Oregon, that was easy. Although Oregon had a defensive player, number 4, that he was wrecking me. Like the whole game, he wrecked me until the midway through the third. I started getting loose with my running backs. So, fun game. It's all the pageantry and stuff is there. You hoist the trophy and all that kind of stuff. The confetti falls. Just fun game. Started recruiting. So, way to go to EA. Now I'm buying Madden either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, it's just amazing how EA found a way to sell the same football game twice in a year now. That is peak capitalism.
Yeah. Well, in Madden plays differently.
They just like the speed and all that stuff. Like it's a little bit more arcadey for college, or it's just settings.
Not the way I got my settings. My settings.
No, I'm talking about how they developed the game. Like it's a little bit more faster, like a little bit more arcadey as compared to Madden, which is a bit more sim.
The college teams, if you have a overall better team, it's like real college football. Your team is going to execute better. It's going to break. They're going to break on the ball faster because of the because you have overall a better team. If I were to take my team and play, I'm the preseason. I'm the number 2 team in the country right now. So I'm supposed to play Arkansas. They're number 13, but typical Arkansas, big old offensive line. They want to run the ball, so they're going to just run right at me. My defensive tackles aren't big enough to stop that, so they're just going to keep. They're going to force me to play a different kind of defense. But
I like the way you're saying this like it's a real team. Like you're actually commentating on the real game.
Oh, listen, let me tell you. No, but let me tell you something. Hey, Extreme, I'm gonna tell you something. You know we love our sports, right? You know America loves baseball, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to college, that's like soccer for them. Like,
but wait, you just don't pay those athletes.
No, that's probably why. You know America loves slave labor. That's just all about. That's really what we love. Like, it's just how it is. Paid now. But yeah, like, they get something. Bad, yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, college football in America, this shit is huge. I never realized until I left New York, right? Because the college football's not that big in New York because we don't really have good college teams. But when I lived in North Carolina, I didn't. College football is almost as big as the NFL. Maybe even culture-wise, even more, because they go crazy, and it's all across the country. It's ridiculous. Yeah. College football is
like with basketball, don't you? March Madness, isn't it what you called it?
Yeah, March Madness. Yes, it's insane. Like, college sports is insane in this country. Some people I know prefer college sports than professional because they say it's more authentic. Like, the players, they haven't got poisoned by the money yet.
So there's like, because they have no money.
Yeah, because they have no money. So it's school pride and all that stuff. It's crazy, bananas. So this college football is a big deal for America. Huge deal. You know,
I'll just say down south, there's people that go to a junior high game on Wednesday. Then on Friday, they go to the high school game, henceforth the term Friday Night Lights. Yeah. Then they'll tailgate at the high school game. I'll make that clear. They will tailgate at the high school game. And then on Saturdays, they tailgate again for the college game. Then on Sunday, they sleep in. Because they don't, because like Porter Rock said, there's no professional team. Like, Alabama does not have a professional team.
That's another thing, yes.
Mississippi does not have a professional team. So down south, Arkansas doesn't have a people team. Now, Louisiana, you've got the Saints. So that's a different kind of crowd. But if you're in a college town, people they'll work like 4 straight days in a row, and then they'll start tailgating Thursday night. So,
that's crazy.
I know we're doing it in a couple weeks.
You guys are obsessed.
It is. It's crazy. It's just America. It's just different out here.
I mean, no wonder you guys won the Olympics because you guys have an Olympic every week. Like, for you, this shit is just Olympic internationally. So we just got to go to another country and do this.
So it was funny. So there was I saw a TikTok video, and a guy was interviewing other people, and he says, name the top 10 country that has the overall most medals since inception of the Olympics, right? And people said, oh, Russia. He goes, hey, that's close. They're number 7 or whatever. Hey, Great Britain. Hey, number 3. France. Oh, number 4. They mentioned another country. He's like, not even on the list. Like, not even top 10, whatever. But, like, I think Great Britain has the second most with, like, 900 overall medals. And we're talking, like, Olympics since inception, right? France and Britain are the only 2 countries that has attended every single Olympics. Some countries missed it and altogether. Yep. But France and Britain are the only 2 countries that have yet to miss an Olympics. Britain has the second most medals, 900 and something. The one with the most medals is the U.S. 2,000.
3,000 now, according.
They broke 3,000. 3,000 medals. Listen, this country does nothing but sports. That's all we got. Sports, guns, and God. That's it. And McDonald's. Shit. Like 3,000 medals. That shit's insane. I was like, what? Like, holy shit. That shit's insane. And America's a young country. We're babies. All we do good is guns, God, McDonald's, and Olympics. We that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The summer and winter Olympics is 2000.
Yeah. Like, listen. You're not gonna get the cure from AIDS from us. That ain't happening. But goddamn it, we're gonna run on that track. We gonna run on that track, dog. We break that 100-meter. We got that shit. You gonna get no cures from us. You get treatments though. We good at that. We'll make sure you'll live a long life, but you got to pay us every month. It's subscription.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, life as a service. We're the first ones to create it. Life as a service.
Pretty much.
You get to live your life as a service by a subscription fee to make sure you stay alive.
As a service to us. That's what it is.
You should thank us. You're paying us to keep you alive.
Exactly. And we'll keep you just not dead enough. So you can pay us more.
Just enough. You know so that way if you miss a payment or two, you get really sick and remind yourself this is your fault. Because you're not paying.
There we go. Terrible. I mean, you did start off those blacksmith running, so no wonder they were presenting.
Shit. It's crazy. Oh man, but anyway, I'm glad you guys fell here. Let's start kicking it off. Let's start with a light topic. So here we go. Let me see. Let me read this article here. Crafton. I never even heard of them until I found out they made
PUBG, isn't it?
Yeah, but Crafton acquisition of Tango GameWorks only includes Hi-Fi Rush IP. Evil Within and more not part of it. But earlier today, Crafton Incorporated announced that they have acquired Tango GameWorks from Microsoft for undisclosed sum that includes the Hi-Fi Rush franchise. For those hoping that in this acquisition means we'll get to see the Evil Within 3 from Tango, well, that's not happening, at least not from the studio. We reached out to Crafton whether this acquisition meant that Crafton now owns the rights to Evil Within, Ghostwire Tokyo franchise, and the PR rep confirmed it's only Hi-Fi Rush, stating it does not. Crafton is acquiring only the Hi-Fi Rush IP and the development staff of Tango GameWorks. Well, that's a bummer, no? While The Evil Within 2 was released way back in 2017, the franchise did have its own following, which I gather would have loved to see a third chapter get made. If not that, perhaps Tango could have released a remake for the first game for current gen consoles as a sort of reboot. It looks like the possibility of that happening is next to nothing unless Microsoft decides to make a new The Evil Within game developed by a different studio. As for Ghostwire Tokyo, it was released in 2022, and while it didn't gain as much of a foothold as Hi-Fi Rush or even The Evil Within, it was still a solid game by Tango. You can read our review here. It looks like any sequel projects based on that IP will also be made without Tango GameWorks involvement. Of course, this doesn't mean we can't get a spiritual sequel to Evil Within. Tango can draft a new horror game under Crafton's publishing label, though we're not sure whether Crafton is willing to bankroll another AAA horror game after the Callisto Protocol's underwhelming stint. That was it. They're the ones that publish Callisto. So they Crafton got Tango GameWorks, which is interesting for Hi-Fi Rush. So I'm like, and I know some gamers are happy. Hi-Fi Rush fans are happy.
Are there any?
But I mean, that, you know what? That's a good question. Like,
oh no, I don't trust any of these people. Hi-Fi Rush, I'm like, look, that's I say there's Concrete Genie fans. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might have enjoyed it.
Crafton just bought the Concrete Genie devs.
Really? Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
I don't know. There's something forced about the fandom for Hi-Fi Rush. Like, everybody tells you how great it is, but no one ever posts screenshots or gameplay. You know, you're just like, there's something a little forced about that. Yeah,
it's not even just the gameplay, because I get it. It's like me, I'm lazy to post screen, especially now that it's not integrated with the PlayStation.
The X is taken off.
I'm not doing all that stuff, right? I'm not doing all that massive work, right? But when you check their their gamer tag, some of them didn't even beat the first boss.
Exactly.
Like, so who really likes this game? You see a high percentage, they didn't even get past the first boss. The majority didn't get past the first boss. They tried it and they're like, fuck this. So who really likes this game? Like 100,000 people? 200,000? 300? Like
10,000?
Because I think they celebrated 2 million.
Total. There was players though. It was players.
Yeah, it was players.
It was people that went to like downloads, and then they went to press A, and then that was it. I don't know. I feel like these are. It's fake.
This doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real.
It feels like you're going to a market in like Afghanistan or Bangladesh, and someone's really trying to convince you while walking at the side of the street that this is real Gucci, and it's like it's got the branding on it. Yeah, like you're like, oh. But you feel it, and it doesn't quite feel like it feels a little stiff, a little plasticky. You're like, polyester. Yeah, that's foam in there. You know, that's the kind of foam that I had back in the 1980s. under that pillow mattress that I bought for like $1. That feels the same. That's reminiscent. You get nostalgia for bad memories, And I'm like, yeah, this is real Gucci stuff. Buy it for like $50.
Shit. I remember when I was
someone's at the door.
Yeah, I remember when I was not stationed, when I deployed to Iraq, whatever. But we first were in Kuwait, and like my buddies were like, "Oh man, we could get real Cuban cigars." I'm like, "You think so?" I mean, I get it. Yeah. It's not. It's allowed. Cuban. It's not sanctioned. But do you really think it's real Cuban? And they say for how much? Only. Yeah, they're like, only for like $20. Cuban cigar for $20. Really? Oh snap! He left his light on. Oh shit! Oh man, you know what? So we're in trouble now. Cause you see, right now he thought extreme. The live is still. Oh my god! I hope he don't come out butt naked or some weird shit. Oh my god, we're about to see some weird shit right now. This is how it starts. You ever seen streams where one of the participants leave, they cover, or they shut down the camera, and they walk away and they think the camera's off, but then the camera stays on? That's what just happened.
Oh no!
Look at extreme. Look at Extreme's screen. He thinks the camera's off. Something bad's about to happen. Yo, we're about to witness. Oh my god, this is gonna be bad. Don't do it. Hey, no. And I can't stop it. Oh man, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We
together and buy this game Delta Force and then stream it.
Oh shit! Something's about to go down. Something's about to go down. Something bad's about to happen. This is how it starts. When the stars and the planets align. This is you. I know we all seen these videos, right? In a podcast. Extreme, the camera's still on, bro. I'm just warning you, don't get naked or any weird shit. Let me see. Extreme, the camera's still on. It never turned. The camera never turned off. When you thought you turned it off.
I've not. It's the skeletons are in that closet.
Oh no, because you know how podcasts are. When one of the members leave, you ever seen those videos, and they think the camera's off when it's not. Yeah. That's when everything goes left.
No. The skeletons and the bodies are away.
I'm like this guy. I'm like this guy's about to put together a PC butt naked. I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that. Like, oh shit, this shit's crazy. This shit's wild.
Was the microphone on? Was the microphone on? Because they were screaming. They were so rude. I had to just.
He was like, bitch. All you heard was,
I want the podcast. Exactly. I was like,
I'm going to whoop your ass, ho. I'm going to be like, oh, snap. This is crazy.
Yeah, but I did in the other room.
All right, back to the fake hype on Hi-Fi Rush 2. Right?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I want to know in the chat. I'm going to do a poll. I'm gonna.
I thought he was gonna break dance.
No. A simple question. Did you beat Hi-Fi Rush?
I haven't played it yet. But I've heard.
Who has?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. But I'll just add about the Evil Within. I'm disappointed.
I'd be 1 and 2
Within. Yeah, so because that means that. If there was an Evil Within 2, that means you failed in getting rid of the evil in the first game because the evil came back for part 2. So, but yeah, I've heard that game is solid as well. But overall, I have not gotten to Hi-Fi Rush yet because, I mean, like I said, I'm getting Madden, possibly getting Concord, I'm getting Star Wars in a couple months. So,
shit, it's a busy year.
Yeah, it's busy. It's busy. Silent Hill, Assassin's Creed. So I'm getting all of it.
Oh man, so I agree. I think the whole love. I mean, listen, if you like the game, you like the game. But I don't believe the game is as big as everybody.
I don't believe it, dude. It's a rhythm game. Like that's the thing I cannot get past. I'm like, boy, it's a rhythm game. Do you guys remember Soundfall? Soundfall came out. I bought Soundfall. I went in there. I played it for about 3 minutes. And I was like, yeah, there's a reason I don't play rhythm games. I just nah. This would be better as a straight up game. In fact, I think rhythm games, should give you the option to just turn off everything rhythm based. Just play it as a regular shooter or a regular melee or whatever.
Like if it was a regular action game,
turn off everything. Yeah, just turn it into a regular. Like, just give me action mode. Like, have rhythm mode for the people that for some reason they like that, right? Like those. I mean, I'm not gonna call you weird, but it's definitely not normal, you know. And then just have for normal people, just have straight up action mode. and we can just we can hit a person whenever we feel like it. We don't have to wait for music to tell us to hit them over there. I mean, it's not like the ultimate quick time event. Like ultimately, all of these people from Xbox that are always complaining that PlayStation has too many quick time events, isn't rhythm-based games like the ultimate quick time event game, because you're always trying to press it at the right time. Like, it's weird that they would go to bat so hard for this game. And listen, as far as Hi-Fi Tango being bought, obviously this means that the people hopefully get to keep their jobs. So we can be happy for the human element, definitely. But I will say there's nothing that they have. Like, for me, as far as they are concerned, they're going with carte blanche, okay? I'm saying no one is going to make Hi-Fi Rush 2. It's not going to sell. And they don't have Game Pass anymore, okay? They don't have Microsoft's money where Phil Spencer was like, hey, give them something. I don't care. Like, no one's going to make Hi-Fi Rush 2. These people, if you are actually a true fan, just know that that's all you're ever going to get. Unless, like, 5-10 years later, they become a much bigger studio, super successful, off the back of other games, no publisher is going to greenlight Hi-Fi Rush 2 to sell, what, 20,000 copies? To whom? Like, it's one thing to be a fan of a thing like a Hi-Fi Rush, a rhythm game, when it's given to you as part of a service. Are people going to go out and pay $40 for a rhythm game? Like all those 2 million players, are they going to go and buy it again and press start when it's asking $40 a pop? You're not getting Hi-Fi Rush 2. You're not getting it. No one's getting it. Okay? It's not going to sell. So they've gone in and they're just going to have a blank card. For people who are fans of the studio itself, happy for you. Great. I'm so happy, you'll be happy. But for people who are like, oh, this will lead to more Hi-Fi Rush or more even Ghostwire Tokyo, even like a spiritual successor to Ghostwire Tokyo, that's not happening. It's not happening. Ghostwire Tokyo had PlayStation's backing. So again, they kind of had someone to financially whether or not it was going to be successful or not. Hi-Fi Rush had Microsoft's backing. So unless they can also get back into doing some kind of second-party studio work, yeah, they're gonna go with something that is probably closer to the Evil Within. You know, like in terms of like a horror genre where they have some kind of like brand cachet, and people can be like, "Ooh, this new game, the Evil Spirit, is made by." You know, the Tango GameWorks people, and they obviously have some kind of brand for that. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm sorry, but Hi-Fi Rush 2, that's laughable.
That's not out of character either, because From Software did it. Remember, Demon Souls was an exclusive to PlayStation, and that's it, can't go nowhere. So what they did was the multiplat, they called it Dark Souls. The spiritual successor, and that's how they were able to get it on all platforms, right? But the fact that they don't have any other IPs is just Hi-Fi Rush. That's just like, I'm like, all right. I think ultimately they just want the talent, because
I mean that could be a great thing. That could be a great thing, because then you're not beholden to anything else. Yeah. Like, for example, if they had gotten the Evil Within, and they go to Krafton, CEO, or whatever, and they're like, look, we have this idea for a horror game, but it's going to be very different from our previous one. It's going to be like, shut the fuck up and go make my sequel. Like, I don't care. Maybe we'll do that 3 projects down the line. This little idea that you have, but don't even talk to me about it. Go make the thing that I know is going to sell and I can market to people. So instead, they have pretty much nothing. So they have to be creative. So in it, there could be a great opportunity for them to actually create something kind of like with that hunger and that kind of passion again, because they are starting from scratch. So this could be great. I think this could be a great purchase. This could turn out to be like a great purchase, both for the publisher, the studio, and the fans of that studio. So it could be a great like reset to square one.
Okay. Well, let's hope. Hey, like I said, 1, they get to keep their jobs. 2, they'll probably be able to push out more new IPs as compared to falling under Microsoft. If Tango GameWorks would have remained under Microsoft, they probably would have been more stricter, how would you say, observation, right? So hopefully Kraft, right? And again, Kraft was the one that published, what is it, Callisto Protocol. So it seems like they're into that horror. So I think I would agree with you that they potentially could look like they're looking more on the having a studio with a horror background, and they probably liked what they did with The Evil Within. Maybe Craft is more in line with trying to do those games, right? Because we could use more horror games. They just need to be good and well done. It just can't be in the hands of Capcom. Like every horror game can't just be in the hands of Capcom, right? And EA gives up too easy, because I think Dead Space is a great game and a great franchise. They just give up too easy because it doesn't sell like God of War. Instead of having a reasonable expectation, they want this exaggerated sales and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah.
But all right. Let's talk about Last of Us 2 factions. Before that, I want to hit up the super chats. I want to first start out with Fabrizzle. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He was right from the get-go. The pack had just started and he hooked it up, man. Thank you for the super. I really appreciate it, brother. Then of course Jimmy Harrison, thank you so much for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show. He says much love to you, brothers. Good to see you, fellas. Yeah, it's always a welcome, man. Thank you so much, Jimmy, man. Jimmy out here rocking with us all the time. And Liquid Data, member for 25 months. He said, P-Rock, make sure you copyright your lines. No shit. You heard that they're stealing our lines up in here. Right? One podcast called the PSSR The Pisser. He said, oh yeah, I just like that. What do you mean you? That's me. It's incredible. They're stealing our shit.
In fact, that was your dad. That was your dad. I remember.
Pisser. Oh man, my dad has all the lines. My dad has
the best thing. The best
lines. The best, right? And then he has the Puerto Rican accent. That's what makes it even better. SNK Forever with the $2 super chat. Thank you, my brother. SNK says, what's up, PR77? Hi-Fi Rush 2 will skip Xbox Series X and X. Wow, imagine that. Let's bring that up. What if Kraft does say, hey, we're making Hi-Fi Rush 2, but it's PlayStation, PC, and Switch 2? Or Switch. And the reason why they don't put on Xbox because the game was on Gamepass, so they think the audience is not really there. Because unless they put on
the audience isn't there for any game.
Yeah.
Unless you're GTA or something. So.
Oh man, that shit would be like, whoa. That'll be some good content.
But hasn't that happened? Sony just tried doing that though with Knights of the Old Republic, right? They just tried to be like, hey.
Oh, they got you because they paid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they paid for the rights. Yeah. It's still in development hell.
Yeah.
But that would be funny. But in this case, it wouldn't be like Sony paying for it. It would just be the developer and publisher be like, yeah, we're not doing it. Xbox not required.
Yeah. They're just following the marketing line from Xbox, so people shouldn't be mad.
Console, hey, Microsoft said it themselves. Console no required. All right. Hey.
No issues.
Hey, Craig, so what do you think about this? So it says right here, report. The Last of Us 2 Online Mode Faction 2 was in development for 4 years. Cancellation resulted in heads rolled at Sony. I think somebody did get fired, right? Or not fired, but so it was a few people who abruptly left.
Oh, come on, details about this?
Yeah. So it says just 8 months ago, Naughty Dog announced that they're in development, that the in-development multiplayer mode Last of Us 2 was referred to as Factions 2 was canceled since supporting it long-term would severely impact the development of the studio single-player games. While not a lot of details came out of it outside of what was announced, it seems the mode was in development for quite some time, and its cancellation had ramifications at Sony in the form of layoffs. This was something revealed by veteran gaming news journalist Jason Schreier, right, in the latest Friends Per Second podcast. Talking about the Bungie layoffs that happened recently, Schreier commented on how live service games cost millions to produce and mentioned how Naughty Dog's Factions game was in development for something like 4 years and had a development team of in the hundreds, right? So now I will say this. That's not really a shock because it was 2019 that they announced the multiplayer won't be part of The Last of Us 2 and that they are working on a more ambitious game. So the 4 years is not like an undercover secret. We knew that because 2019 they gave us the heads up a year before the game came out that you're not getting the multiplayer, and then that's when all the drama and a lot of stuff came up like this is bullshit, we're getting half a game. That was 20. So when you do the math, technically you could say the game was in development for 5 years. Because 2019 is when they told us that they started out with multiplayer, but now they're converting it into a bigger project,
that's
right?
4 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they canceled in 2023.
Oh yeah, they canceled in 2023. So yeah, 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. You're right. It is 4 years because it was when they canceled it.
About it, I'm glad they canceled the game because it wasn't. All you're going to do is just run around, put on a headset, wet your pants, and shoot. And you got Concord for that. You got Helldivers for that. Hell, you can even play the Bungie game now, Destiny, where that giant white ball is on Earth not doing nothing. So I don't get it. I mean, games get scrapped. They can get restarted all the time. But I think you said it best, Porter Rock. In order for them to do this, you have to keep adding content. Because people will sit down and play the damn game all day long and level all their characters up. And then, it's just, to me, it was just a bad idea for a game. And now I will say this very quickly. I do agree with people who said, well, why don't they just keep the old one up and running? Okay, fair enough. I think they could have probably split the difference. But this whole thing of, we didn't get what we wanted, so we're just gonna piss and shit on everything else. That's what I don't like. It's unfortunate that games get canceled all the time, and they can mothball it now, and they can bring it up again in a couple of months. I mean, who knows? But I mean, who cares? The Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year. They're just like a big FU. Who cares? I mean, I'm just to a point where I don't care about the game. That's part of the problem, I guess, for me. I didn't care about it. It is what it is.
I will say this though. So the people say, "Oh, they could have just cut it, condensed it, and do the traditional multiplayer." The truth is, we don't live in that era no more. No one's interested in really doing that as much. Multiplayer is now live service. They like the multiplayer we're used to, in the 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. You got Gears of War in the multiplayer. Uncharted in the multiplayer, you got all these, the basic combo package, right? Halo didn't even do that this gen. Halo separated and created a live service game. Traditional multiplayer in the standard package is not as common right now. Right now, if you got a big company that's a AAA publisher and you tell them multiplayer, they want that long-term sustaining multiplayer. They all want that. They don't want a multiplayer that will be relevant for 3-4 years, and then you have to create a new multiplayer. That's not what they want. They want long-term streaming, consistent revenue for the long term. So I understand a lot of gamers, not even a lot of gamers, because I understand those of us that enjoy Last of Us want that, but it's a small crew. It's not going to be a big hit. It's going to be a small crew. A few people will play it, a few people enjoy it, but it's not going to be this all-defining hit. Because if you want the all-defining hit, you got to do this gas live service stuff and just constantly push content. That's the new rhythm that's being pushed now. So the whole belief of just cut a little bit and just create traditional multiplayer, one, it will probably be watered down and people will complain about that, right? Because if you created this whole multiplayer based on gas and now you're only going to condense it, completely change it just to shoehorn in a multiplayer that comes with the game just to say you did it, how well is it going to be done, right? That's almost like you're salvaging a product. Like when you try to salvage something, you're not really trying to do something based on you're not trying to make an exquisite product. You're just salvaging shit and hopefully it's just decent, right? And I don't think that's an answer. I think they would just be setting themselves up for failure with a bad multiplayer because they just try to salvage the product instead of coming with a meaningful done. Now, could this be a proper condensed game maybe for The Last of Us 3 or maybe the new IP and they just take the engine, repurpose it and create a different type of multiplayer back to a simpler time? Maybe, whatever. But I don't think a rush, half-ass, salvage product is the answer right now. I prefer what they did. They realized that they're in too deep and they had a choice to make, right? And the game could have been successful, right? It could have been completely successful. Last of Us faction could have been absolutely successful, but that's all they'll be doing. They will probably they'll be Bungie 2.0. That's really what they be. They got factions and that's it. That's the end of Naughty Dog as we know it. That's why I like the decision because I got the Naughty Dog back. The Naughty Dog that let's be honest. The single player Naughty Dog is the successful Naughty Dog, not the multiplayer Naughty Dog. The ones who cry about multiplayer, whatever, is a small crowd. They're not the ones, you know what I'm saying? They're not the ones that's going to make the game sell 15 million, 10 million, right? They're the smaller board of the ground, right? If Naughty Dog went full multiplayer, they would lose so many fans off the cuff. Lots.
Let me ask you about the last episode. Let me ask you about this. I just want both of you all's opinion because I think you all both played it. Would you like to see them just expand the world? So maybe do like a prequel where, remember, Tommy went out first and did some things first. They could do like a DLC to that. Then maybe show different parts of the United States, like where Dina came from. I can't remember. She said she was from Tucson or from Phoenix, but show different areas, and maybe at that point, maybe add some RPG elements of, we have to go out and do this, and here's what we have to do to maintain power.
What are you talking about? For the multiplayer?
Well, not multiplayer. This could have been single player, but it could have made it a little more of an in-depth RPG type game. This, again, I'm not mad at this. Like, if I was in their office and they were just saying, float ideas, that's what I would say to them. Like, you still make The Last of Us. You use some different characters. You can still do a prequel where, because remember, after
they're still making it. Well, yeah, that's the rumor. The rumor is there's still rumor Last of Us 3 is one of the projects. That's the rumor. Rumor is Last of Us 3 and a new IP. Those are the two projects they're doing now, right? But as far as this, No,
go ahead.
But I think as far as this multiplayer, I think they just came to a crossroad. They came to a Jesus meeting. They made a decision, and I'm glad they made the decision because I'll be honest, I'm not going to miss Factions. Even if it was great, I'm not going to play it. Probably play a little bit, like I did with Helldivers. I made it to level 7 Helldivers, and then I just stopped. I just wasn't interested going beyond that. I wasn't interested in the grind. I just completely lost interest. Great game, but...
Did you at least kill that big, fat, juicy bug? That That thing was pretty cool. I like killing that thing. I always tell people, leave that for me. I want to take that thing out.
At this point, I guess within the PlayStation community, it's just a battle of the multiplayer part of the community versus the single player part of the community. And I'm team single player. It is what it is. Yeah. I'm team single player. Oh well. Sorry, multiplayer guys. This one, you don't get a win for this one. You got Concord. Go play that.
Yeah,
and
you're
gonna get Marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, go play the show. Go play Gran Turismo.
Technically, PlayStation has not released a big single player game this year. Their big games have been multiplayer. So you guys got to win. 2024 is for the multiplayer PlayStation gamers in terms of first party, right? Right, Rise of Rome is third party. Right, I'm talking about from the first party, straight from their first party studio. Helldivers,
Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, you're right.
Helldivers, Helldivers and Concord. Those are the big ones Sony's pushing out. But I appreciate Sony doing third party deals. Stellar Blade, love it, right? But hey, multiplayer. I'm sorry, multiplayer PlayStation. Y'all got the L on this one. Y'all ain't getting your multiplayer. But guess what? We're gonna get that. Let's be honest. We're gonna get what people really want from Naughty Dog. Because look at The Last of Us Part 2. No multiplayer. And that game sold over 10 million. So let's be honest. Let's be real. We know what we really want. We all know.
To answer Craig's question, first of all, for me, The Last of Us story is extremely tied to Ellie. So first, if they were going to expand beyond that, for me, I would say complete the trilogy, okay? Because people shouldn't have to wait 15, 20 years for a story to wrap up, okay? Like, it's already been long enough. So finish that story with Ellie, because I think it should at least be a trilogy. Then feel free to expand. But also, I'm sorry to my American friends. If they're expanding the world of The Last of Us, I don't want to be in America anymore. Show me what happened in France. Show me what happened in India. Show me what happened.
You don't like France. Stop lying. You don't care about France.
Yeah, but the thing is, Americans have a fascination with France. Because if you say, show me what happened in Cameroon, is the Naughty Dog team gonna go down to Cameroon and be like, oh, culturally, this is what would have happened? No, okay. So they're not gonna go to Africa. So you know what? Let me take something close. Okay, Europe is right there. It's right up there. Okay, I'm looking for proximity. You know,
but how she's gonna get to France? Like, there's no planes.
No, not with any anymore. Not with any anymore. I'll say finish any story, then do other people.
Okay. But in Europe, or so, see their perspective.
Or even like episodes of The Last of Us worlds where you only do one game with like one character. But be around the world. I don't want to be in Phoenix or like it's always based in the US, which I understand. That's where the people are from. That's where they can write about. But also, it's boring because it's not just the US in the world.
You know why? If they started like Last of Us all over, it would be a good thing to see the perspective in Europe or something like that. That would
exactly.
be too bad. Shit, I would have.
What happened in Hawaii?
But you know, one place they won't do. Australia, because it's like you
after that breakdancing.
No, because you're doing that. No, because like y'all live in The Last of Us like right now. It's like normal. That's like, what's the difference? You got the most dangerous creatures in the world. Big deal. That's like, okay.
Well, that girl breakdancing, I think that
like The Last of Us Part 4 in Australia. You guys are sitting down in Starbucks, like doing the same shit you do any other day. You're already the most terrifying country, the most terrifying island. Terribly, most terrifying island in the entire world. But you do a good point. It wouldn't be bad, whatever, England or France or whatever. It would be interesting to expand that.
Norway,
because again,
inspired.
That would be inspired. Norway, the winters and stuff, even Russia or something like that. I mean, because The Last of Us is really about people. Living in this shitty world, so you can really take that story and start a new one and just move on. That's what's good about. That's what I like about The Last of Us. It's not really about, even though Ellie and Joel are pivotal, but when you think about it, it's really more about just living in a shitty world and how they interact. With
that's true. Finding something good.
Yeah, that's why.
Do you know what they should do? The Last of Us in Japan, but the main protagonist is black.
Oh my god, this guy. Oh my god, you could. Oh man, this guy did.
I think they're already doing that.
There's black people live in Japan. This people live in Japan.
This guy's gonna get this guy's gonna get the quartering after us. Oh shit.
Shit.
Quartering. Right now, you just pissed off the quartering. Right now, he felt it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man. This is crazy, but anyway.
Listen, I'm just saying, there's black people living in Japan, Yeah, that's why DEI this shit.
That's it.
That's what it should be.
Oh man. Where are we gonna be targeted by the anti-woke? That's it. 60 frames no lines gone woke. We gone woke. Oh shit. Now they're gonna be like, go walk Puerto Rock, go broke. I'll be like, man, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, bro. That's it. They coming for us. Oh snap! Oh, but anyway,
Listen. Okay, here's the thing: is my camera frozen on Discord? Because I can see myself moving.
It's frozen. Maybe it's just me.
I have no idea why it freezes. I don't get it. Guys, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to take it. I know that's not the best pose right now. I look super bored, but I have no idea why he does that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe if I do this. Okay, now it works. There you go.
Yeah, it's moving now.
Listen, I have no idea, but it stutters. It stutters, which is not for me, guys. It really isn't. It really isn't. And like my ping is good. Like I've tried. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
It's my dog shit internet, I guess.
Outside of gaming now, my camera is garbage.
It's my dog shit internet right now. All right. Alan Wake 2. Hold on. Let me. Where have my? Where's it at? Hold on. Here we go. Let me get my info right over here. All right. Let's see. It says right here, Remedy H1 2024 earnings. Alan Wake 2 has recouped most of his development and marketing expense. Now keep in mind, this tweet was August 9th, so this was just 4 days ago. Alan Wake 2 has recouped most of his development and marketing expenses, but did not generate royalties yet. And that game came out when? October? Something like that?
Yeah. It's good, though.
Max Payne 1 and 2 remake now in full production stage. Control 2 pass to production sales. So as it stands right now, Alan Wake 2 is not profitable. Did not make a profit, right? Despite being on PC. Yes, PC gamers, it's on PC. I don't want to hear this stupid ass argument that it's not on Steam, therefore it's not on PC. God, that was, oh my God, the internet was crazy on that one.
Steam
That
is
was
PC.
just dumb. That was just dumb.
Steam is PC. If it's not on Steam, it's not on PC.
Oh man, here we go. There was the PC. Yo, listen, it's on PC. If the PC gamers don't want, listen, I'm gonna say, you know what? That's really the topic, right? Alan Wake 2 is on PC. Now, if the discussion is Epic Game Store sucks ass, perfectly understandable. You don't want to play it on the Epic Game Store. You don't care it's a free launcher. It's just terrible policies, terrible practices. Just
you have to make a name
service. Make all that weird shit, right? Got it.
Yeah,
I got it, right? Okay. But if you're gonna take that stance, which is perfectly fine, I don't want to hear no bullshit that you guys flagging console gamers because PlayStation gamers don't want to play on Xbox. It's the same thing. Xbox is dog shit, so they don't want to play games there because it's dog shit. Everything about it is just trash. It's just stupid. The fucking box looks stupid. It looks like an ashtray. The UI sucks. Just everything sucks. It just sucks. Everything just sucks about it. It just sucks. It's just a shitty. Even their planning and how they unveiled this shit. Like just the fact that you want to give $500 to a company that tells you don't know the counts, you don't need the counts in the first place. That's just stupid. Why would you give $500 to somebody that's telling you don't need it? That's just dumb. They don't give a shit about them. It's just trash. People don't want to play on that. And console PlayStation gamers get called fanboys for saying that. Yeah. But on PC, it's perfectly fine to say that. Like, bro, it's the same thing. Epic Game Store is Xbox. It's the same shit. But the difference is, I'm not going to say Hogwarts Legacy is not on Xbox just because it's trash. It's a multiplat and it's there. You can play it. Just no one really wants to play it there because it's dog shit. What are you going to say, Craig?
It's got 52 CUs and 12 TFOS. So, I mean, it can't be completely trash. So.
It's trash.
At least that's what I got told by Dealer Gaming. Dealer Gaming said it had 12 TFOS.
It's dog shit. It's 12 tea bags of trash.
But, yeah, I had one. I got rid of it because I just couldn't take the
because it's dog shit. You had one?
Well, I mean, if you want to go back and play old games without having to sign up for the Series X. Well, here's what I like about the Series X versus the PC. If I want to play an old Assassin's Creed game on PC, I got to sign up for Ubi, whatever it is, Ubi Play, whatever it is called. On the Xbox, I just play. On the PlayStation, you just play it. But, I had a problem on the PC. I wanted to play as Cassandra one more time and throw a hump on the whole Greek world. But I got to sign up for some kind of pass, so I'll just throw a hump on the PlayStation.
What are you trying to do?
A hump.
What does that mean?
Trying to throw a hump. That's what I did when I was playing.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah. Throw a hump. You know.
What does that mean?
Why does that sound wrong?
I know it's just.
Throw a hump.
But what do you mean by?
I just want to say to the audience, I'm throwing no humps.
We're saying, what does that mean? You keep repeating the word.
Like
That's not an explanation.
My hump.
Figure it out.
I gotta figure it out.
Like my lovely lady hump.
I don't know.
So let's just say you go out for your anniversary with your wife. When you're done eating and on the town, you're gonna take her back to your house and throw a hump on her.
Is it like Black Eyed Peas, My Humps?
Oh no. That song was trash.
First of all, that song was fire. Okay. Don't know why.
They said this man. He said this man making up slang. That
was his dad. That was his dad. That was his dad. His dad was like, throw a hump on that. Throw a hump on her. There you go.
I'm gonna throw a hump on that shit. What? Yo, hey. Fucking license that shit because another podcast is gonna say it.
Hold on, cook that barbecue. Throw a hump on it.
Put a hump on it. Put a hump on that motherfucker. Like what? Like,
what clean that car. Throw a hump on it.
Yeah, put some hump on that shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. Hump
crazy.
it. I mean no, throw a hump on it.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. But anyway, I haven't got a chance to play Alan Wake 2. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't too keen on playing Alan Wake 2 only because I played the first one and I thought that game was garbage. Oh my god. Anybody play Alan Wake 1?
I did. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It's part of a trilogy. That's what I think people got to remember. There's a three, it's a trilogy. So it's Alan Wake, Quantum Break, and then Control. That's like a trilogy because they reference each other. You know, if you read all the stuff, I want to make that clear. It's not thrown in your face. You got to find all the clues. But
yeah, can we talk a little bit about that? I want to talk about this whole self-masturbatory form of writing. Okay, here's the thing. I think that it is a well-written self-masturbatory work. What does that mean? I mean, it gets off on itself. Like sometimes when you read a book, and I read lots of books, so I've come across this a lot. But you read a book from an author that is clearly too clever, I think, for the audience that it should appeal to. Okay, because they create a work that basically feasts on itself. Because if you want to understand Alan Wake, you have to really spend an extra 10 hours digging into like subtext and between the line stuff and everything like that. And that is not good writing. I will posit that to you. I don't think that's good writing. I think that just because you can be clever with your writing doesn't mean that you've made good writing. And I think the problem with Alan Wake 2 is that it doesn't have the gameplay foundation to back that kind of writing style in a gaming format. Another one that I think was a little bit too self-masturbatory was Returnal Story. I didn't really like Returnal Story. People always talk about the ambiguity. Is it all in her head? Is it in space? Is it real? Is it not? I think that's cowardly. I think that's a cowardly way to write. Tell a story. Tell your story. Either say it is this way,
game. What is that story?
Wait, what?
I've never played it.
You haven't played Returnal?
I played it for 10 minutes and then she keeps just coming back to the same place. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, why am I going back to the same spot? So what is the story?
Play more. Play more.
Play more? Okay.
Like, the hell?
I don't want to play it. I mean, again, I give credit where it's a solid game. That the mechanics are really good.
You play it for 10 minutes. How do you know it's solid?
She kept coming back to the same spot. You know, I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do this time?
We're not gonna get distracted, okay? Go finish Returnal, okay? Anyways, what I was gonna say
this dude is playing the same game, but they decided to call it Madden and college. But he won't play Returnal?
Well, no, it's not the same. Madden is not the same game. That's a puzzle every time you hike the ball. But I understand what you're saying.
Wow. Let me return to my point because we need a whole podcast for that response, okay? What on earth you want to play Returnal for 10 minutes? I'll play it again. Whatever PlayStation fan license you have,
he didn't return. He said. Craig definitely said, I am returning.
Something would happen and she would just
Alabama versus Arkansas. Woo! Football. Oh shit! Go ahead. My bad.
Anyways, my point was that with Returnal, it has the same kind of story, but it has the gameplay foundation to back it up to actually be enjoyable as a game. Alan Wake 2 is basically just a film. It can work as a film because the film doesn't ask you to play through it, right? A film just posits the story in front of you. And if you look at this style of writing, where it works the best isn't in books and it isn't in games, it's in movies. Movies can have this whole self-masturbatory type of writing where it's it's like the script is enjoying itself. Like, really, you're not actually meant to understand it. A little bit like Tenet. Tenet is exactly that. Like, you guys watch Tenet?
Tenet's good.
It's exactly this thing. I love Tenet. Like, Inception was a little bit like that, but Tenet went full board. I will just explode, throw a hump on myself, you know? And the audience is just there like, Tenet, I guess it was good.
So, yeah, Tenet. I had to watch, like, this YouTube video that actually, like, explained it to me. Because that was a lot.
I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. I got it now. I got it now for Returnal. She died and came back, so she got double life. I got it now.
Yeah, you got it. But yeah, if you look at the Tenet.
She goes, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
You got double life. I understand.
That's exactly it.
Listen, if you look at Tenet and you're like, Emmanuel, what are you talking about? Just take a look at Tenet. Take a look at that story style. take a look at how confused you were for 99% of it until you watch a 10-hour essay breaking down most of it for you to even begin to like, and then only on like your third watch can you start following the movie. That's what I call self-masturbatory style of storytelling. It's very clever. It's incredibly clever, but I don't think it's good. Okay, so that is what Alan Wake is, both in 1 and in 2. Control was a little bit like that, but it was less so, and it also had more gameplay foundation to actually back up the game. That's why people like Control more. But I think they need to get away from that. I think they need to tell a much more straightforward story with Alan Wake 3 that actually helps people digest what they first played the first 2 installments. And they need to get away from like this self-aggrandizing, like, yeah, look how many self-referential things I can give to my own self. Like, I'm self-referencing things within the game, things within the scene. Like, the reference is a reference that just happened in reference to another reference that was referencing something that happened from the elder reference over there. Very clever, but not enjoyable.
Well,
so, yes. Yeah. So, well, go ahead, Craig.
Let me do this real quick. Tennis is easy to understand. When he sits down and talks to Michael Caine and said there was an explosion at Stocks 12 2 weeks ago, that's it. This understanding what you see has already happened. They're just replaying it again. But anyway, yeah, I get it now with Returnal. I got double life, so when she died, she came back. I got double life.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, the planet thought I was a pretty man. It told me to come back. Okay, so but overall, I don't disagree with what you all were saying. I understand what you're saying. Like, I agree with Extreme, especially with the writing, because that's what Marvel did with the MCU. I mean, it was one thing kind of leading to the next other thing, clever writing. You got the in-cut scenes, things like that. Yeah, I think games can be pretty, more straightforward, but yeah, I think overall, if you play Quantum Break, then Alan Wake, and then Control, like I said, if you want to go through and unlock all the stuff, it does tell a pretty cool story. However, Extreme's right. Most people are not going to do that. So, so I agree.
So the reason I brought this up, so Alan Wake 2, I'm glad we're talking about a little bit. Not to the length of the story, but what made me hate it was like I'm fighting possessed books with a flashlight. I thought that was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, I'm fighting, like, all right, some of the humans or like the shadows, okay, once in a while, but like books flying at me and I gotta shoot, like, shine it with a light and then shoot it with a gun. And then like the end game, this was so stupid. Like, you get the heavy duty flashlight. They made it seem like it was Excalibur. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like towards the end, you get the big 9-volt flashlight, and they present it like Link getting the Master Sword, and that's when I really hated the game. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Now you got the flashlights of all flashlights and shit like that, and a shotgun. And you're fighting a possessed bulldozer. What the fuck are we doing here? Like, oh my god, that shit was so stupid. I'm like, this is so stupid, right? He said the bulldozer, right? So then after that, I'm like, man, these guys lost the plot, whatever. Control comes out. A lot of people telling me it's good, it's whatever. I played Quantum Break 2. I didn't really notice references to Alan Wake Quantum Break 2. But Quantum Break 2 wasn't really all that for me, but like whatever. At that point, I realized, yeah, Remedy is really not for me, right? Far from the days of, Max Payne. But then I played Control. Yeah, but then I played Control, and I'm like, that was good. To me, Control was the lessons learned from Alan Wake and Quantum Break. They finally got it right.
I agree.
I'm like,
but Quantum Break, I really enjoyed,
good story.
I like sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right. But to me, Control finally, I think, in my opinion, I saw it as Alan Wake, Alan Wake, Quantum Break, they finally got it right with Control. The gameplay was good. The story was a bit better. I was like, okay, I guess they just needed a couple of reps. But then when the DLC came out and they injected Alan Wake 2, I'm like, oh shit, now I'm confused again. Like, Alan Wake 2 is involved in this, and now they're doing all this stuff because I played and beat the DLC, right? In my mind, I'm thinking they're trying to salvage Alan Wake 2 with the success of Control, because Control was very successful for them. You know, not like God of War success, but it was a good hit for them. It was really good. It got a lot of sales.
It was solid.
And I think in my mind, okay, they're trying to salvage Alan Wake, and now Alan Wake 2 came out, but apparently not too well. Now, of course, a couple of factors that the gamers mentioned, and I will see the chat agree. Number one, no physical copy. Listen, I don't care this whole digital world. There is still a significant amount of people that buy physical, right? Even if it's, you know, even let's say if the average sales of physical games is 30%, right? And 70% digital, that doesn't mean most of your audience for a certain game is going to come from the digital side. Sure, there's a higher probability, but depending on the game, your most of your sales, or a good chunk, right? 40%, 45% might come from physical, right? I think it was a mistake definitely a mistake for Remedy not to release a physical version day and date, because that's a lot of people. They avoided that. That's just not going to buy the game. They're just not going to buy the game exclusively digital. It's just not going to happen. That's one. I do agree. You know, if PC gamers prefer Steam, that's where you got to put your game. It is what it is. They monopolized it, but it's a monopoly the community, the PC community did, right? Through the hard work of Valve and doing what they got to do to make Steam the most, you know, popular platform and whatever, they earned it. But it wasn't, how would you say, a corporate level monopoly where Steam did shady things to put them in a position. They just did so many things that PC gamers love. They are creating the monopoly. They want everything on Steam because that's their choice. So that's cool and stuff like that. So I think it was a mistake with Remedy, especially you got to protect your own interests. So even if Epic Game Store be like, oh, we'll give you some money, whatever, Remedy is going to be like, hey, Epic, we appreciate the offer, but we got to go where the PC gamers at. You got to go where the audience is at. And if Steam has that level of stronghold, you don't have a choice. You got to release it on Steam. That's just a repercussion and stuff like that. So I don't think Alan Wake 2, like I am glad they're making Max Payne 1 and 2 remake. I'm really looking forward to that because that was the PS2 era. So that games like that, I absolutely love remakes. And for those type of games, because those games, they're so far behind that you can really appreciate, you know, how far technology has gone from the PS2 days as compared to remaking a PS4 game. Still look good, but the gap is just not there, you know. But a remake of Max Payne 1 and 2 that was like what, over 20 years ago or whatever, that's gonna show a nice good distance, right? Good difference, right? Appreciate that. All right. Final topic, or maybe the final topic. What happened? You gonna say something?
No, I agree. To be honest, that's a very good point.
Okay.
I do think that them not having a physical model could probably hurt them. But yeah, I don't disagree. You do have to protect your own end. That's very good.
Mm-hmm. So the last topic possibly is licensing. So Warner Brothers. Things ain't going too well for the gaming stuff. Suicide Squad apparently flopped. Gee, didn't see that coming. Remember the first day we saw that Extreme? We knew this shit is dog. We were like, this shit is dog shit. We're like, what the fuck? Day one.
It was the tanks. Remember the tanks?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm like, you
were only faster than me. You were in the faster than me.
Yes, I didn't even let the video finish. Like I didn't even let the trailer finish. Like within the first 10 seconds, oh yeah, this sucks. Flop. I didn't even the first reveal trailer. I didn't even let it finish, and I knew this shit. I'm like, oh my god, Rocksteady, it's so easy. What you wanted, you had one job: make another Batman. Done. That's it. Oh my god, one goddamn job. And they gave us this shit. But anyway, it says right here, Warner Brothers Discovery wants to license franchises which include Batman to Harry Potter and more to other studios. AAA Games of Thrones, games when? Batman, Justice League, Harry Potter, Looney Tunes, Game of Thrones. The list of intellectual properties owned by Warner Brothers Discovery is massive, and an awful lot of it seems ripe for being turned into a video game. If you're thinking WSB is being a little slow to leverage or elaborate, it sounds like the company's leadership agrees and is looking not just to make more of its own games, but to license out some of its biggest franchises to other game studios in the future. Today on the Warner Brothers Discovery Quarter 2 earnings call, CEO David Zaslav and President of Global Streaming and Games, JB Perret, responded to a question about the strategic value of games to Warner Brothers, given recent uneven performance. The company had just reported gaming revenues down 41% year over year due to underperformance of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League compared to Hogwarts Legacy's massive success last year. Does Warner Brothers see games as a core part of its portfolio? Seems like the answer is yes. Both Zaslav and Perret explain that they wanted to grow the gaming business, especially in the free-to-play space, which Perret says can help balance out some of the ups and downs of the cyclical console industry. That's part of why WB acquired Player First Games, developer Multiverse, earlier this year. Zaslav followed up by noting that not only did WB want to keep leveraging its 11 studios, but that there's also a lot of interest among others in coming to take advantage of some of the IP for gaming, which we're looking at. So what do you think about that? What do you think WB, right? Because right now, the way WB is structured, they have their own gaming stadiums, right? So it would be like Marvel, right? Having their own developers. But Marvel didn't do that. So when Marvel games grew and they started doing their own thing, they opted out of the whole, let's build our own stuff. And hey, we could take what's already out there and just leverage IPs and make money that way, right? Almost guaranteed money, right? Because some of this is locked down, not even tied to sales. Now, Warner Brothers have their own studios, and they traditionally make their own games from their own IPs. But they only have 11 studios, right? But they have a ton of IPs. They have a shit ton. DC alone, The Flash, Aquaman, all those characters, but they don't have enough developers to push those games out there. So what do you think, and I'll start with Extreme, what do you think of, and then I'll finish off with you, Craig, because I know you're big into comics. What do you think of the philosophy or a new strategy where you still leverage some titles that you want? Obviously, you'll probably keep Batman for yourself or a variation of Batman, but pretty much you have your studios develop your games, but also license out all this stuff that you own. And they just mentioned Game of Thrones and all this other stuff to more developers because you just can't keep up. Like, they're leaving money on the table, just keeping all these IPs to themselves. Again, DC alone has more IPs than they can handle. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so look, it makes sense on paper. And I'm afraid that might be the only place it makes sense. Because who are you going to give these to? Right? There are not that many developers out there that can handle a AAA IP done to a standard that, for example, the Arkham games have set or Spider-Man has set. Not many people have that talent. Not many people have that even belief in the studio. Because if you're going to go through and make a game like that, let's say you want to make a let's say an Aquaman game or a Flash game or even the next Batman game, and it's all going to be Rocksteady for some reason, right? And you actually hand that out to an external partner. Who are you handing it to? You can hand it over to Ubisoft because they certainly have the number of developers and are used to making big games, but they're going to Ubisoft, they're going to Ubisoft it. And that's not really what that IP,
They're going to UB
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're going to UB it, and that's going to give you like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 that people are going to pretend is a 9 out of 10 for a week, and then are going to realize it's a Ubisoft game. Then are going to pretend it's a 4 out of 10, but really it's just a 6. It's just above average. So that's what they're going to do. You could hand it to a PlayStation studio, but why would they? And even if they did, that would only be one of the IPs, and so that won't be enough. So who are you going to give it to? Like, of course, you could go, further out, and you could go to Asia and other areas like India who are just up and coming. But then they're probably going to give you what Prince of Persia gave you, a 2D, kind of like side-scroller thing, which is like, yeah, it's cool, I guess, but that's not really what you want. I don't know. I'm not feeling optimistic about this plan. I'm not feeling it. Because I think IP like that demand that you put them up to the level that Spider-Man and Batman have set. I just think that people are not going to accept a Flash game, for example, that is not as visually stunning, as mechanically engaging as the Arkham series. That's the standard now that you have to go up against. And who's going to be able to do that? Now, how many people are going to be able to do that, let alone doing the actual character justice and everything like that? So, yeah. Now, of course, they have other IP that are not as big as a DC or as prestigious. So with those, I can kind of see how you could find more indie developers, more AA developers who you could probably grow into something. But it also doesn't sound like Warner Brothers has the patience to be able to do that. You know, like they had a mega successful hit with the Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm not even sure if they've been that thankful to that studio. Like they did the impossible. I mean, if you remember, we talked about this, and I said towards the end of the podcast once that I think that Hogwarts Legacy could outsell Spider-Man 2 because it just had that kind of like backed up further that people have been wanting to play a Harry Potter game for such a long time. If they did a halfway decent job, I was like, this thing is going to sell monsters, you know? But they don't seem satisfied with that. They don't seem like they have reinvested
So they actually
their money.
greenlighted the sequel. They actually greenlighted the sequel.
Yeah,
In that
they've
same
greenlit the
equivalent?
sequel, but
So
I want to see if they've actually reinvested into the technology, into the
to make
writing,
it.
into the staff, into the studio to give something better the next time around.
I see.
Because they also they're releasing, I think, this Quidditch game, and that thing didn't really look like, yeah, we believe in this IP now. You know, like they kind of have it separately. For me, if they had
Yes.
believed in Harry Potter, yeah, they could have put like a DLC where they introduced that inside the Hogwarts Legacy game. You know, still make it paid, but at least that will show me that you have believed in this IP. Like, no, Hogwarts Legacy is a thing going forward. Or if they had even called it like Hogwarts Legacy Quidditch or something, to be like, we're gonna turn this into a franchise. I don't know, but I don't trust Warner Brothers. I don't even think they have that many people they can reach out to. And I think that those people that could do it will be much more interested in doing their own IP because less restriction. You don't have to adhere to what someone else is forcing you to do or what you know how comic book fans are. Something happens in 1942, one issue, that say that this has to be that way. Now you try to write something 70 years later, and then they're like, no, 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 that character can never do that because this one obscured one moment. Comic book fans, bro, I would never want to write on a comic book project because the amount of I mean, it's not even study. It's just like people, like there's just so much work out there that contradicts itself that you're always tripsing on something. Like you're always stepping on someone and making them angry. And they are very reasonable people, comic book fans, as you know. So reasonable, so calm, so collected. They are so understanding of the fact that sometimes you need to break a rule that was established before to tell a good story. They love it when you change things around. They are so understanding about that. As you can tell, I'm sarcastic.
I'll be honest. You really put a damper on my optimism because you did create up some good points. How many developers are out there that can take on a task and create the equivalent, be on the level of Rocksteady with Batman and Insomniac with Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
You're right. It's not a lot, right? Good point. Me, I'm personally hoping Sucker Punch takes Flash because First Light was about speed. So they kind of, Sucker Punch was kind of into the superhero, but it was their own original IP with Infamous, right? And the DLC to Second Son was First Light, and the character, her power was speed. So they kind of, dibble dabbled in that. So I would love to see them, take on the Flash and see their take. I would have a feeling that they'll be able to knock it out the park, but you're true. Who would be able to do Aquaman? Who would be able to do Green Lantern without just doing like like Ubisoft? Ubisoft takes Green Lantern. It's just Assassin's Creed. You fly around with a ring.
Exactly.
I get it.
I mean, don't you have the ocean? Yeah.
Good point.
They can build big words. They can always do that. You can
know?
count on Ubisoft for map
You know?
size, but beyond that, you're just going to be playing Far Cry in space.
Oh, Craig, I know you're big into comics and stuff like that. And and I know you're big into also the comic industry outside of gaming and stuff like that. What do you think about this? I know because I know you're into studios, movies, the companies. I know you also talk about that, and you're very into that stuff beyond the gaming and stuff. What do you think about all this?
Well, I mean, I think as far as Warner Brothers, that's the best thing for them to do. I can see maybe I agree with the Flash going to somewhere like a Sucker Punch because I think they could do that justice. I also think people got to realize they can make a superhero game and they can put the Flash and Aquaman in the same game, and just have them interacting on each other, off of each other. They did it with Miles Morales, and it was a Spider-Man game. They were both Spider-Man, but so it can be done. There's a template for them to do it. They did it with The Witcher. They had two different characters. You played two different characters in that one as well. Granted, they were both Witchers, but no, I agree with the whole licensing out. Just have Rocksteady do the Batman game. I agree. Have something like a Sucker Punch do a Flash game, and just try to bring it all together into one big game. Have them, then all of them show up in one big game. Kind of, just call it the Justice League if you want to. So, but I thought WB did the right thing. Just people weren't, for whatever reason, the gas. I mean, people. It's not that people don't want the Justice League and the Suicide Squad. They just want it to be a single player game. So they can use different characters on different missions, like they did in Grand Theft Auto 5. You use 3 different characters. It's like, okay, you guys have more. You have more RAM. You got more space. You have better technology. You can't put Batman, Superman. They did it with the Avengers, although the Avengers failed. They did it with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's possible, but you have to really want to do. You'll have to wait to see how that turns out.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I think, but while it's a little bit doom and gloom on the extreme side, I still think Warner Brothers doesn't have a choice. They still have to try.
Yeah.
But you're right. The gamer's reaction is there's a standard, because we don't want to go back to the movie tie-in standard.
Yeah,
when comic games was just throw away, there has to be a level of quality and stuff. Like hopefully Blade doesn't suffer from what you mentioned, where
good point.
It doesn't meet the quality level and stuff like that, right? So hopefully something like that will improve. But it gives me hope. But now here's a question I have to ask you: if Sony, let's say, goes after, let's say, the Flash, do you think Marvel will feel some type of way?
No, businesses. Businesses don't have feelings. Nah, they don't. They're doing multi-billion-dollar deals. The only way that they will feel some type of way is if it held up Insomniac, and then they'll be like, well, the studio making our game is not making that game, and we all know this thing's like 3 to 4 years, so that's 4 years that we're not getting this talent working with us. But if Sony were to put, like you said, Sucker Punch on it, or create another studio, or partner with another studio and put it on, I don't think that businesses aren't petty like that. Like, they all understand that they're all trying to make money, all trying to do the right thing for the shareholders. They don't take it personal, as long as you don't betray them. Again, if you take a Insomniac and you're like, hey, go and for 12 years make these DC properties, and they are trying to be like, hey, like, who's making Spider-Man for us, and you're like, oh, Sucker Punch will make it. They'll be like, no, Sucker Punch is not making it. Like, these are the people we're putting in, like, these are the steward of this IP. Make sure that they are the ones prioritizing on this. So yeah, I don't think they will be upset.
Okay, all right, okay. That was just my only thing, right? But like you said, it's a good point that you said that they're professionals, right? As long as it doesn't interfere with what they got going on. If anything, growing comic books probably is a mutual benefit, right? Get more people into comic books, which can lead to more. Because to be honest, I think like the DC benefited, even though their movie sucked, but at least people tried to watch it only because Marvel was so successful. So everybody was hoping DC, right? Everybody was hoping DC can do a Marvel. That's the only reason why we went to the theater to watch some of their movies. But of course, they keep failing us and whatever. All right, let me go to another topic. So yeah, I want to talk about this. Apparently, Microsoft cannot, cannot heavily market Call of Duty on Game Pass. Give me a second. Where can I find?
Before you jump onto that, I'm a hop on off. We got a big day at the clinic tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. Have a good one, Craig. Have a great one.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you for saving lives, by the way. Thank you for saving lives.
Yeah, we're stomping out the Z's one at a time. Yeah, thank you.
Man.
But y'all have a good rest of the evening. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the podcast. And remember, I guess the girl got double life. That's why she keeps coming back.
Oh my god.
That's exactly how it works.
So she's with Chocolate Thunder?
Indeed she is. Thought she was a pretty woman, I guess.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Damn, I could have sworn I thought I bookmarked and saved it. Yeah, I screwed up. Damn it, because they had the clip on Twitter with the iLaunch podcast with Paris, some Xbox centric personalities, and they were talking about so I just wanted to present it to the audience that didn't have it. Does anybody have that clip? Hit me up in the DMs, man. That sucks. Where the fuck did I go? What the hell am I doing here? I'm such a piece of shit. Like, I can't get shit right up in this motherfucker.
Oh, come on, man. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, man.
You know who?
It's X. It's X. The platform's garbage anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid all the content with the N-word. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, what is it about saying the N-word and freedom of speech? Like, really? The Constitution was built just for that? Like, we can't do nothing else with the Constitution? Like, Jesus. Let me see J-Dub. I know J-Dub gotta have it. Somebody's gotta have it. Somebody's gotta have that clip. No, he doesn't. Even he doesn't have it? There's no way. Not even a great J-Dub has it. Did it disappear? There you go. Oh, all right. I guess. There goes the clip. But apparently, well, I'll do this. Let me see what Gaz has to say. Let me put it on the screen. So Gaz has something to say. So let's go, Gaz. Save the day. Save my podcast, guys. Here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
Gigantic IP that just
why are you buffering?
Sells and dominates sales charts every year, even if you get some really crap version.
Why are you buffering?
It still does it. Is now appearing
This is so stupid. Why is it buffering?
on Xbox Game Pass day and date for the first time in a subscription.
This is like your YouTube days again.
Oh my god, this is terrible. Hold on, let me refresh this. Let's start all over.
That just
holy shit! Is my
sells
bandwidth
and
being
dominates sales charts every year.
What my camera
even if you get
freezing?
some really crap version.
I just realized that.
Is it me? Why?
Yeah, clearly, if you can't load up a fucking trailer video, how are you gonna do it? It's true.
I just don't fucking understand. Like,
are you on like DSL or something? Like,
no, like you would think, right? And you know what's funny? I got 600 meg service. This shit's crazy.
Whoa.
It still does.
Get the 1,000. Clearly, you need it.
For a fucking Twitter video? Holy shit!
Xbox Game Pass day and date for the first time in a subscription service that a lot
Porto,
of people...
did you get your internet service from like
this shit's
Bangladesh?
That shit's look the video quality is 720p. It's not even fucking like you act like you would think I'm pushing 16K.
Listen,
not a lot of people. Some people.
Porto, okay, get American internet, okay?
Like that's the problem. I got American internet. I need to get European internet.
Or say is unsustainable. PlayStation fat boys. But
you literally can't play a trailer video.
And yet, despite the fact that it's coming out in just a couple of months.
Yo, my laptop is not like gas.
Not that much noise. What's going to happen? But is this going to fall foul of Microsoft's?
What the fuck? This is my internet is dog shit. You know what? Listen, turn off your camera. We're gonna reduce the bandwidth right here. We're gonna cut it all off. Yo, this shit is dog shit. What the yo? This is crazy. Hold on, let me try this again. God, this is embarrassing. Let me do it this way. I'm not even gonna do the big screen. We're just gonna give you the little screen.
Yo, but do you know what this reminds me of? Back in like 2006, whenever you got a new computer, you try to show your friends,
God,
and this happens.
this shit's fucking. Oh my god! All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Ready? Let's go.
Versions, it still does it, is now appearing on
360p. Man, I'm telling my laptop's the Xbox. This podcast is the Xbox Series S of podcasting. Holy shit! This podcast is dog shit.
Service that
so stuttering frames all lag. Wow.
Yo, this is fucking This is
drop frames all lag.
We're gonna go down to 270p. I'm gonna need pisser.
Not a lot of people. Some people say is unsustainable.
All right, we're good now.
It's happening, and yet, despite the fact that it's coming out in just a couple of months, silence. Not that much noise. What's going to happen? Is this going to fall?
It's still buffered at 270p. This is X. This has no. Elon, fix your shit, bro. You're too worried about ensuring racist people get to say the N-word. You can't even fix the goddamn. This shit is dog shit. Oh man, this shit is trash. This thing is bad. This is Elon. This is Elon. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that.
I'm sorry, but use your phone. Just hold up your phone to the camera.
It's Elon, bro. This trash ass. He's too worried about making sure everybody gets to say the N-word on X.
Listen.
It's garbage ass.
I don't know where in India they sold you this internet plan, but I'm gonna need you to get a real plan, bro.
Let me try this one. Everybody's just gonna have to listen.
Charts every year. Gigantic IP that just sells and dominates sales charts every year. Even if you get some really crap versions, it still does it. Is now appearing on Xbox Game Pass day and date for the first time in a subscription service that some people say is unsustainable. PlayStation fat boys. But it's happening. And yet, despite the fact that it's coming out in just a couple of months, silence. Not that much noise. What's going to happen? Is this going to fall foul of Microsoft's trademark, anemic, and absolutely useless marketing? Call of Duty, after all the billions that they've spent? Well, this week there was a lot of noise about this, and some people wanted to enthuse about it or offer some insights. Let me play you a clip from the Iron Lords. Here we go.
Oh, he has a clip.
I can add context to that, by the way.
Can you please do?
And here's the context being added by bald-headed Paris Lily.
Yeah.
Who has hair in this?
No.
Apart from Alex and Destin.
But while I was at
And a little bit of
Treyarch, and
Yes.
again,
I love you guys. Don't get mad at me. Let me slap this bald
these
head.
were off-the-record conversations.
Yes.
The people involved shall remain nameless. You are 100% correct, sir.
People shall remain nameless. Off the record conversations, doubling down to add on what Cog has been saying.
They cannot use that in their current marketing because we were having a conversation about Game Pass.
Yeah, I was surprised.
And the impact that they think it's going to have on Black Ops 6. Some people at Treyarch think it is going to be a big deal on Game Pass, but you're not going to see that big marketing push that you would expect where Game Pass has uttered every other word.
Why? After that, guess what happened, chat? Paris Lily was picking steam, and then bald-headed Paris, you keep ducking me, huh? Good. I need time to gain some muscle. Paris Lily says, let's be clear on this clip. It was other people at the event and not Treyarch themselves who were discussing Call of Duty. So why are you sharing it, bro? Who's the other people? This is being taken out of context. No one at Activision or Xbox has stated this to me directly. Is it? So why on earth, Paris Lily, are you opening your trap, lad? Look at this guy's face when he says it, bruv. Shut up. Why are you doing this? Huh, Paris? They should remain nameless. I'm going to be mysterious, bruv. He cast out Lord Voldemort, and he's like, he who shall not be named told me this. Bruh. Bollocks, man. It's doing, and this is where the problem lies. Even when hard-earned cash is involved, Microsoft seems to be massively flaccid in its execution. I don't understand how you could spend this much money and just sit on your hands and think, you know what, Call of Duty, it sells itself. We're not going to do any marketing. There's no way.
All right. So we heard, guys having a heart attack. Bollocks! No Game Pass market. What do you think about this? That Microsoft's not pushing heavy marketing to let... I have a feeling, Extreme, I'm going to say this right now, that I think you're going to come up with what I'm thinking. I think we're both thinking... I'm going to say right now, I have a feeling you're thinking what I'm thinking. But I want to see if we're both... We're on two end spectrums, right? I'm summer, you're winter. Soon you'll be winter. We're all opposite. But I have a feeling.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this? That apparently there's not going to be heavy marketing of Call of Duty. Microsoft's not going to really push the marketing of Game Pass with Call of Duty. You're not going to see it much. What do you think is that? What do you think is happening?
I just want to say, if you guys paid attention to the original clip, at least the one that was on Twitter, because I didn't see the full video for the full context. It makes it sound, okay, the way that they're saying it implies that there is some kind of contractual agreement coming from who, it will be Sony, right? To be able to say, hey, Microsoft, you are limited in your possible advertisement of this. So they're not making it sound like, hey, Microsoft is choosing not to. They're making it sound like dirty Jim Ryan, Jim Ryan.
Found the way.
Added one final backstab, one final... between the ribs, one final time, and was like, yeah, you can have it, but we get it, and you can market it. Because that's a heavy implication here, okay? Yes. So I just want to give that context, and that's the context from which I am interpreting this. So if I'm more on that, I'm more on that. Okay?
No, me and you. That's the first thing I noticed. They're trying to... First, that's the first thing. That's the first exact thing I noticed. They're trying to make it seem like, in past, without saying it, that some entity, like somehow, some way, they just can't do it. Their hands are tied. Yeah. In some form or fashion. Yeah. They're trying to get that.
Okay. Just the way they always make it seem like somehow, some way, Sony can't outbid, PlayStation for things, even though, they are the $3 trillion company, right? Probably about to be $4 trillion, the way that they're making profits. So here's the thing. I'm calling bullshit. Here's what I think. This is preemptive damage control. Just like, okay, what the hell was this thing with the MTN framework or the MTX framework to explain away Capcom shit? Have you guys ever heard of this shit? Like, where do these terms come from? Where do they come from? Why are experts suddenly telling us these things? Wouldn't you have said hey guys, listen, back when the Series X was released, hey, listen, the backwards compatibility on Xbox, great, superior, much better than PlayStation. But guys, there's this small little caveat. There's this whole MTN framework thing. We don't know if that's going to come and play a part, but watch out for that, because in the future, there might be some games that will strangely behave in a way you don't expect. But, otherwise, move along. There's just a small little asterisk, something to watch out in the future. Cool. But no, that never happened. But now that Capcom is choosing not to put the games there, now it doesn't happen because of a technical limitation. Because how somehow Sony they did it again. They built a framework that made it disadvantageous for Capcom to do this for Xbox, but somehow, they are doing it for their own consoles. And then a game that was available on the 360 now, and even though the Xbox Series S has backwards compatibility with the 360, the new version can't be made. It's very telling how we always get this thing right on time. It's like we get it just when we need it. Hey, how come Microsoft is fucking this up? Here's the reason. Didn't you know about the MTN framework? Great. I didn't even talk on that because that was just such BS. But I think the same thing is going on here. Here's what I think. I think that when December comes around and we look at the Game Pass numbers, we're going to see a slight increase. Just a tiny little smidge. And since that cannot be acceptable, because for years we were told that this whole Game Pass, Game Pass and Activision thing was a match made in heaven, and it was going to bring 100 million subscribers to the table. And now these people are getting the feelers out there. They're talking to the Microsoft people, and they're like, "Hey, how many people do you think your guys are going to increase? Like, just give me a look." And they're like, "Yeah, look, maybe 100,000." And they're like, "Oh, that's all." They're like, "Yeah, it's not we don't project it's going to do that much." They're like, "Yeah, okay, we're going to need to start early." This is like Podwork. This is like when you got the assignment at school in 5 weeks, but you started that night. You're like, "Nah, I'm gonna knock this shit out. I'm gonna do all the research today."
That's not a lie.
I'm gonna do all the research today.
I do my best work when I'm rushed.
Exactly.
You can't give me time. I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated to do the work. I need to be motivated.
Yo, listen. Me, I was the opposite in school. In school, boy, you give me the assignment today, it's done tonight. I don't care if it's in 3 weeks. That shit is done today. Okay? Because 3 weeks later, I know I don't have to worry about it. Okay? I'm just making incremental improvement. This seems to me like laying the groundwork, the foundation for, hey, here's the reason that Game Pass didn't increase that much. Because Sony stopped them from being able to advertise it the way that they could have.
Now, that's a great So, first, I want to say shout out to Jim D, new member. Thank you so much. Hope you stick around. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But Blue Jay's coming after you. So, Blue Jay said, M's takes are for engagement. How sad. Cry more. What is going on here? Wow.
Listen, first of all, after that whole Australian breakdancing, I'm in tears. So he's right about the crying. We're all crying.
He said, you gotta the Ojo's guys. I want to support, love y'all. Okay, he just throwing a little thing. Here's my thing, right?
Just a little jab.
Here's my thing. From a Microsoft perspective, right? This is potential where Call of Duty. It's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna claim it's gonna fail or whatever, but financially, this Black Ops could be less financially successful as compared to the previous Black Ops, because what they did was this, right? Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Call of Duty is on Game Pass, whatever. More people are gonna play it." Here's the thing: look at the people who are gonna play it. They are already subscribed to Game Pass. Like, all these people are gonna play Call of Duty already subscribed to Game Pass. Now on Xbox, people who love Call of Duty, they had no problem buying Call of Duty. So they subscribed to Game Pass, but because Call of Duty at the previous time was not on Game Pass, they went and paid the $70. So you got your $20 a month, and you got your $70 because they were subscribed to Game Pass for all these other games. Oh, Call of Duty's out, they're gonna get Call of Duty. Number one, that population now is like, well, shit. Since Call of Duty's on Game Pass, I ain't gotta buy it no more. So you lose $70. Now, of course, you could say, well, new people are going to play it. Yeah, but you didn't add money because those new gamers been paid for Game Pass. Whether the game was there or not, you were going to get their $20 from there anyway. So you already got obligation money. Like, the money that's already been obligated from the audience, that didn't change. What they're hoping for is new subscribers. That's how they're going to come out with their success. How many new subscribers can they get? But here's the thing. They have to have those new subscribers stay for at least 4 months to make up the difference.
Yeah.
Because they can't be like me. Like if they listen to my past videos, Microsoft is screwed because they'll just finesse the system. They'll subscribe for 1 day, beat the single player campaign, maybe play a little bit of multiplayer, and then unsubscribe. $20.
Yeah.
That's a $50 loss. Imagine if 2-3 million gamers did that. You're talking 100 million, 200 million loss, right? Because if you subscribe for 1 month of Game Pass, beat the single player, unsubscribe, that's $50 per that's a $50 loss per gamer that does that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Microsoft probably doesn't have the confidence to get these huge boost numbers, and they're probably hoping that a lot of gamers are ignorant and they just still buy the game anyway. Because, sometimes you don't pay attention, right?
Yep.
And you just do what you're naturally doing, and they'll go, oh, Call of Duty's out, I go buy it. And then you buy it. What?
Is it on PC?
Yeah, it's on PC too, right?
Because in PC it's even bigger loss.
Yeah, it could be
because they don't pay $20. They pay 12 or 13.
Yeah, they better really hope they hold the whole Steam line. Like, oh, I'm not playing it everywhere by Steam, because that's also potentially big loss. Also, on Game Pass, I'll just play there for like $2, whatever. But but if you don't really know, if you're a casual that got Game Pass, because this is what I think this will apply to the casuals. You got Game Pass, you signed up because you hear this great deal. You hardly play it. You play it once in a while, and then one day you just go buy Call of Duty and you're buying it, right? And then your friends found out you bought it, and they'll tell you, why the fuck did you buy it? And you'll be like, why? Bro, it's on Game Pass. Why the fuck would you get it? You're like, oh, shit, I didn't even notice. Because there's no advertisement. There's no thing in front of your face telling you it's coming to Game Pass. So you don't really know. You're casual. You're not listening to podcasts. You're not on Twitter. You do what you normally been doing for the last 15 years. You just know Call of Duty comes out, you order it, you buy it.
Yep.
That's what I think Microsoft's doing. They're trying to catch the casuals to have them still buy the game. Right? The only ones that really know are the hardcore that pay attention, but the casual that hardly plays, but they still pay their $15. One day they go buy it, and then maybe a week or two later, their friends tell them, bro, you didn't have to buy the game. It's on Game Pass. You're like, fuck, I didn't know. I hardly play Game Pass. I just have it really for the kids and shit. I don't really have it for me. I buy Madden, I buy college football, and I buy Call of Duty. That's really what I do.
Yeah.
That would be them. And I think that's what's happening. Microsoft's trying to be slick, like, it's on Game Pass because we have to, because they made a promise and they can't go back. So okay, but if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's what I think they're doing.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you're one of those that don't really know about the console that you have, oh well, should have read up on it. And I think that's what they're doing. Shout out to John Baptiste. I looked at the Xbox store. It's not even in the top 50. And when it comes to Steam, it's not even in the top 10. So sales might be lower for COD Modern Warfare 3 as of right now. Game Pass numbers probably didn't go up as much as they wanted. That's what I think it is. Because the success of the game rides on attrition. But you're going to get a lot of losses. Because the ones who know, they're not buying Call of Duty this year if you're on Xbox. Maybe Microsoft's kind of lucky that Xbox sold like shit. Because how many people are we talking about at this point? Like if Xbox was a significant, let's say 40 million, even 40 million, and there's a lot of Call of Duty gamers, that is a lot of gamers that would be like, I'm not buying this year. Thank you, Microsoft. Best value in gaming. That's a loss.
That's a loss every time.
Every time.
Because I speak about this on my channel. I spoke about the issue with subscribers, with networks. So all of these subscribing services, they want to turn you from a fan they want to turn you from a person that would churn, like you were saying, like a person that would dip in and out, into an actual core customer where you will stay there for the majority of the time. But then the problem is, as soon as you become a core customer and you pay month after month, any added value is free to you because you were going to pay that regardless. Yeah. So it basically means that you come up with this natural issue where, yes, you want to convert people to core subscribers, but at the same time, it's a little bit like like those are pyramid schemes where it can only function as long as new people are coming through. And as soon as you hit a plateau of people, it no longer makes sense. Because even like Disney Plus or Netflix, if they stay at 200 million subscribers, it sounds great. But if they keep adding 5 years worth of content for just the 200 million, like, boy, that's 5 years of content they made no money on because it's the same people paying them the same amount of money. So that's why prices keep raising and everything like that. So I think that eventually, I think that's all unsustainable. Like, Gaz was alluding to this, that PlayStation fans always said it's unsustainable. But I don't think it's a Game Pass property. I think all of them are unsustainable.
Paramount just announced they're shutting down their TV studios. They're done.
Oh, really?
Yes, they just announced that. I made a joke. Yeah, I made a joke. Because you know how, people grift. They just take a story, and they just make up something that's totally irrelevant to the story. So I said, you know what? Let me have fun. Let me have my fun. So this is what I put. I'll put it right here. I'll put it on the screen.
Can your internet load that?
Oh yeah,
internet load that?
Yes, because it's at 180p. I put. So here's the thing. It says Paramount Television Studios shut down by Paramount Global cost cuts. So I wrote, Halo series was such a huge commercial failure that it broke the bank. Paramount shutting down its television studios. Now, obviously, Halo has shit to do with this. I even put immediately after, is this how fake news is done? Because it seems like this is what everyone is doing. So did I do it right? So immediately after. But of course, no one's gonna see the second part.
The
right?
second one, yeah.
No, so now everybody, so nobody is everybody's like right here definition he fell for equals the sad part is how fanboys respond this over and over, knowing it's not true, but it will get them engagement. Even I know it's not.
Apparently,
true.
That's what we do. Both you and me. We're just there for engagement.
I'm just that it is really. I'm just throwing it out there, right? Yep. Another one. Anything to blame Microsoft, right? I guess this.
I mean, that's not a bad policy. That's not a bad policy.
Yeah. So I guess that's how you do it. You just make up shit. But the point is, like, it's a very tricky thing because here's the key, right? You have to reach a certain amount of memberships, right? And you hope that these grow. But Netflix proves that there's a cap. There's a cap to everything. So at that point, now you're trying to draw blood from the stone. What you would call it? Who raised their Disney Plus raised their price again? So now they're raising the price again. They're constantly raising price because now they reach this audience that they can't keep growing. So now they're to extract more money, and then it becomes a game of: are you making more money than the content you have to not just only push new content, but also to keep the content you have there going? Because you still have to pay the licensing and all that stuff. Exactly. That just doesn't. So those 400 games that are on Game Pass, they still get paid. So you still have to pay them. So the question is Game Pass making enough money to pay all of that, help fund new games, right, and make profit?
Yep.
Well, at 33 million, they're not there yet. They need to grow that. I mean, but like what you're saying now, if you're stuck at 30 million, just like you should say, if you're stuck at 30 million, and they keep putting new content in there just for that 30 million, they're losing money. Because that 30 million is still, they gave you the, whether you added new content or not, that 30 million was giving you the money anyway.
Yeah, exactly. The way that I explained on my channel is that, guys, there's going to be a certain amount of content that might attract you. Okay, let's say it's this amount of content, it's X amount. Okay, boom, you got this, you're happy with, you're going to pay for at least a year consistently to enjoy this. Every amount of content that they add on top of that, that's free to you because you didn't care regardless what it was coming. So that means they're just losing money for adding this amount of content for you. And you take and you multiply yourself by like 30 million people or 50 million or 100 million, and you can see how much money they are just losing. Because at a certain point, if you're just there to watch The Office and you don't care about anything else that they add, every other show that they had to produce and had to pay for, that's money wasted. So what do they try to do to correct it? They want to increase the price. Okay. But the problem is that, of course, that was of no added value to you. So now you are paying more for this, for less value, in terms of the equivalent exchange. Exactly. And then you're going to be like, wait, no, I don't want to do that. And that is the problem, which is why it's just not sustainable. Because while for you, it might be The Office, for someone else, it's going to be something else. And then that's also why shows get canceled. Shows get canceled in like season 2 or 3 because the only way a show makes money on Netflix is if it attracts new customers. 100 million people could be on Netflix. If 90 million of them watch a show, it has made no money. What it has to do is bring in new people. And the problem with season 2 and season 3 is that it's not that hotness anymore. It doesn't pull the same numbers that it used to. So there's Ghost in the Garage Gaming just coming out here with a big red. You don't even see that color. You don't even see that color ever.
That thing, you saw that? That thing just blasted the chat.
Exactly. I was just like, whoa.
Yo, like it made you stop talking. Like, wait a minute. Like, what just happened?
I was like, what color is that? I've never seen that color before.
Ghost in the Garage went like this. Drive by. Bloop, 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 right in the middle of your conversation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ghost in the Garage.
Exactly. He's probably gone by now. He just came in, dropped the bundle. He just came in,
dropped that bundle. You know what I'm saying? That's J-Dub's twin brother. Man, my man, they just floss some money out here. Man, thank you so much, Ghost, man. Truly appreciate it. He came in just right, boo, what's going on? And then I'm out, right? And shout out to Darkside too. Darkside 2, he says, I think MS don't advertise COD because it's temporarily on GP. You think Black Ops 6 is gonna be temporary? I don't think it's gonna be temporary.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. Imagine that you get cold, they launch it, doesn't mean it's gonna stay there. Yo, that would be hilarious. Oh, that would be so goddamn funny. They launch it and they're like in January they take it out. They're like, why did you take it down?
Yeah.
Hey, always said day one. We didn't say how long it was gonna stay there. Oh man! But shout out to Ghost in the Garage. But
I think it will stay because obviously, what they want to do is trick people into paying for longer. Because if they can get a Call of Duty player to pay $20 a month for a whole year, they've made 3 times the money they were going to make on you, and that's before the microtransactions. So I think it will stay for that reason. But yeah, no, what I was saying is that again, there is a point where these companies, when they look at new shows and new seasons, even if it's critically acclaimed, it only matters if it can pull in new customers. That's the only measure of success for those shows. And that's the same thing with games. You know, like, let's say there's 50 million people in Game Pass, and then they release, you know, something like Fable. And Fable is a tremendous hit for everyone already in Game Pass, but it only brings in 500,000 extra people. They've lost money on that. Because again, the people that were already in Game Pass have already paid for Game Pass, and we're going to pay the same amount regardless. You've got to bring new people for that new money to come in because of this title for it to actually make money. Otherwise, it's just value that they granted onto you for quote unquote free. You know, and so that's the biggest issue with these things. And I think that's why also, you know, I took the approach of what are these Xbox podcasters doing. I still think that they are laying the foundation for denial, but from the company's perspective, I agree. I think that Microsoft is like, listen, it doesn't really behoove us to actually, you know, trumpet this from the thing. We're just gonna say it once or twice, and then we're just gonna let people buy the game because that's how we make money.
They know it's gonna be successful. They know people are gonna buy it, right? Exactly. I think there is a concern of how many people are not going to buy it because of Game Pass. And of course, they're saying Game Pass is the future, whatever. That doesn't mean you destroy certain games that are guaranteed sellers. COD's a guaranteed seller. Usually the number one selling game. That's going to be interesting this year, right? I would say, I think Helldivers is probably the only strong title, but it's going to be interesting. Can Call of Duty come out as the number one selling title of the year? Because normally the only time Call of Duty, there's only a few times Call of Duty got dethroned. Majority of it is when Rockstar releases their game every time. So Rockstar dethrones Call of Duty for the best-selling game of the year. And then last year, it was Hogwarts Legacy. That was the first time a non-Rockstar game dethroned Call of Duty. This is for the U.S. anyway, for the best-selling game of the year. But it's going to be interesting. The impact of Game Pass and, you know, overall best sales, you know, how much will it bring it down, if any at all, depending, right? So that's going to be interesting because you're talking about the two platforms. PlayStation, you're safe. PlayStation gamers, they have to buy it, right? And I would say that's where the majority of the sales are going to come from overall in terms of sales, PlayStation. But between Xbox and PC, I think the majority of non-sales is going to come from the Xbox because they did a big culture of Game Pass on that console, especially with the Xbox Series S. It was that's really was the main talking point for that device. It was you could pay $250 for an Xbox Series S and play Game Pass, and it's the most affordable, cheapest entry in gaming. So that mindset is definitely on that platform. PC has a little bit of saving grace simply because against Steam. Even with Game Pass, a lot of gamers still get their games on Steam because of mods and stuff like that. Yep. I'm just wondering, but does that translate to the Call of Duty gamer on PC? Because like the PC gamers that we know, they don't really mess with Call of Duty that much. They prefer the CS:GO, the Valorant. They're more on that line, right? Like, so I wonder if the PC Call of Duty gamer would be like, hell yeah, I'm getting on Game Pass. I'm not paying, because for them it's $12 for the game.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They can have the game for like 5-6 months before it reaches that $70 price point,
Exactly.
So it's going to be real interesting this year overall, the success of Call of Duty from a financial perspective. Like, what's the drop? And they're not going to tell us, but I think there's going to be a drop. Unless there's like a big boom of Game Pass subscribers like you mentioned.
Yeah.
If gamers go from $70 to Game Pass, to which they already have Game Pass, even if they subscribe to Game Pass for the first time, let's say, that's still a loss because they only subscribe for $20.
Yeah.
So even if they do subscribe for Game Pass, the question is how long they're going to stay on Game Pass after Call of Duty. Are they going to stay on Game Pass perpetuity to keep playing Call of Duty? Or do they be like, I don't like Call of Duty, unsubscribed? And they subscribe to Game Pass for maybe like a month or two, $40 at most. Interesting.
No, it is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be one of those flashpoint moments because when you think about Game Pass, one of the things that it's always had in its kind of like in its quiver has been that day one promise, right? And then the other component of that that people have wanted has been that big undeniable IP, like that colossal juggernaut that is going to make people talk and going to have the conversation regardless of how little Microsoft advertises it. The people that are Xbox fans, especially Game Pass fans, are going to evangelize it. Like this will get out there. This will be a thing that will reach even casuals, even people that don't pay attention. Exactly, they're gonna lay that groundwork. So really, it's like whatever Microsoft does will be extra, but it will be spoken of because the community, the Xbox community, especially again the Game Pass, kind of like enthusiasts, have been waiting for this moment for 7 years, right? Like a game you can't deny, because if you had something the equivalent of a God of War Ragnarok on Game Pass, they would have had that moment already. But so far, the last undeniable moment that they had when no one could touch them was really Forza Horizon 5. And that was pretty much the only one this generation. Like, that was the only one where it's like, yeah, you can't. Because Starfield was wrapped up in controversy pretty quickly. People were like, yeah, Starfield, this isn't it. Because it could have been that moment. It probably should have been that moment, but it just wasn't. But Call of Duty, especially this new one, I'm not a Call of Duty fan in any way, shape, or form. I don't care for the multiplayer or the single player. But I always, check out the trailers, and this one looks phenomenal.
Yes,
I think that this one is going to sell amazing. And Black Ops, I know, even though I don't care about Call of Duty, I know that Black Ops is one of the kind of like sub franchises that sells the most.
Yes.
And they have this whole one. Exactly. And then they have this whole Call of Duty Warzone, which whether they do a Warzone 2 or they tie something Black Ops related to the update, I mean, it's a huge Warzone moment. So, yeah, we're going to see exactly what Game Pass can do when there are no excuses against it anymore. The price point is still right. Even though at $20 a month is steep for the people on console, it's still quote unquote the best deal in gaming that they want to portray it as, right? The game is undeniable. It's one of the most popular titles in the world. Microsoft owns it, so we know that it's going to be there, and it's not going to have some kind of exclusive PlayStation thing, in order to make it. Like, this is it. It couldn't be any better to see what Game Pass can actually do. So I think that they are going to receive a moderate bump. I don't think that it's going to be a legendary bump like they go from 30 million to 50 million, but you've also got to say it's pretty much like, yeah, if Game Pass was going to do something, this will be it. This will be the moment.
Okay. This is it. It's going to be interesting. I just found that weird, but Xbox community is doing they're doing the Lord's work. They're trying to blame Sony over this. I just don't understand how. Yeah, I don't understand how they make fun of Sony for having no money, but somehow they always have money to block something, block a game for going to Xbox. Now always they have the money. Yeah, now they have the money to tell Microsoft on a publisher they own, on a game that belongs to them, you can't advertise on Game Pass because we're Sony. Yeah. That's why. Like, exactly. It's just crazy how they make Sony look so weak while at the same time give them so much power in gaming industry.
So much power.
At the same time, it's hilarious, bro.
It's double think. You have to double think that.
It doesn't make sense.
Sony is the weakest, but somehow they can still stranglehold Microsoft.
Even on something they own that's proprietary to them. Oh, yeah, man, it's absolutely wild.
Matter of fact, let me tell you, the reason that Fable isn't going to run at 60 frames per second on the Series X at launch is because of Sony. The money had to it. The money had to that.
That's crazy. All right.
That term money had never made any sense to me. Well, it's like your money had something from the biggest person in town, like on the whole industry.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm glad we touched on that last topic because that was a good one. Game Pass can't, whatever reason, Microsoft can't do a good hard marketing campaign.
Does that even make sense, though?
I
Does
don't
that even
know.
make sense? How would that even work?
I don't like. Even if it was an entity, from what I heard, the contract is over because if the contract wasn't over, we would have a custom bundle for Call of Duty. That's the marketing. You will see marketing on PlayStation. You will see the custom Call of Duty bundle. None of that's happening because the marketing is over. So how would Sony even have
the stream is breaking off.
You know,
the lag. There's lag in the stream, bro.
Oh,
people are complaining in the chat.
Oh
bro,
man, see, they got us.
Bro, this internet, you gotta let it go, bro.
They got it. I don't have a choice.
Oh yeah, because you guys got the bad ISP deals. You only get one person.
That's the only. That's
I've
it.
got like 18 to choose from.
It's Spectrum. They're the only ones that you can get here.
That's crazy.
I can't get no one else. That's it.
That's crazy.
I can't get.
I tell you to stop downloading the good stuff. Stop throwing a hump on your internet. Stop throwing a hump.
I threw that hump. Gotta throw a hump. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I got Spectrum, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know, he said 60 frames don't lag. This is 20 frames mad lag podcast. I can't do nothing about it. I am stuck with Spectrum Internet. I don't have a choice. Monopoly. It's just
wow.
Bro, there's nothing in it. All right. But anyway, we're going to close out. What that means is it's time to go. That's what that means.
It's time to go.
That's time to go. Yeah. My laptop's tired. You know, it clearly, my laptop clearly, my podcast clearly don't like gas. It's like, we're not listening to this dude. Move it on. Keep it rolling. It kept buffering them. The laptop's like, nah. I don't want to hear him. I don't want to see him.
Not doing it.
But anyway, give your shout outs, my brother.
Hey, listen, guys. Go find me on my channel, youtube.com/efoextreme. You're going to see a video there, and then another one, and then another one. You'll love it. This is great. It's great conversation.
You're going to find videos on your YouTube channel? Say it ain't so.
Videos. You know what? You know what? Go find the play button on my channel and throw a hump on it. You know, just go ahead and do that thing.
All right. Anyway, this is your only friend, the YouTube supporter Rock77. I see Vedra said you need files. Well, I'm going to Florida, so that's definitely what I'm gonna get. And Ghost in the Garage.
Ghost in the Garage just helped you.
Oh man, Ghost in the Garage. Oh man. Oh man, shots fired.
Oh man.
Go. He said, yo.
He hit you with that $100 slap. Pay your bill, son. Pay your bill.
Damn, son. Ghost is like, bro, we know what it is. You behind. Your shit's overdue. Your shit's getting throttled. Go pay your goddamn bill, Puerto Rock. Oh man, Ghost, that shit hurt. Yo, I can't even. It's like one of those things I can't even clap back.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
I just have to sit here and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like I can't be mad. I can't make a snap. He just said, shut the fuck up and pay your goddamn bill. And it's like got $100, and I'm like,
exactly.
I'm going down the ground and grab it. Oh man, my man went. Oh man, he went Frank Lucas on me. He's like, man, pay this goddamn bill already.
That's the damn level of disrespect. He's like,
oh shit.
He basically bought you a Series S on one podcast,
right? I got my Xbox Series S. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit! You know what I'm saying? Oh man!
Hey, shout out to Ghost. I told you, man. You need to get.
I'm sorry, Ghost. It's not my fault. It's Spectrum. I don't have a choice. That's only available. You know, but Florida,
next thing you know, he's gonna send you a super chat and be like, "Hey, move houses."
Oh shit! And then move.
Move.
Get the fuck out of there. Trash ass neighborhood. You know, listen. I'm in California because the Marine Corps told me to be in California. You know, I don't mind. I don't mind being in California, but TikTok.
You're going to Florida. You're going to Florida.
Oh yeah, Florida. TikTok. My retirement next year.
You better check the internet over there.
Okay. I'd be like, does this neighborhood have files? And they'd be like, who? Not moving. Nope. Next neighborhood. Next house. Next house. Verizon
you know, you probably get. Yo, you know what's fucked up? You probably get more internet choices in Puerto Rico. You probably would.
You know what? Probably so. Bro, you know, but internet. I'm getting fiber. I'm not playing to the house. I don't want to hear no bullshit. Shout out to Ghost. Ghost said, "Pay a goddamn bill, P-Rock." Like, damn it. Here we go. Here we go. The most anticipated game is almost here, and Xbox players won't be able to experience it. That crazy. Yo, what's your YouTube channel, bro? Yo, plug in. He did. He just plugged it in. He plugged it in, closer. But yeah, he's talking about what is it? Black Myth. Wukong.
Oh, why? Yeah.
Not on Xbox. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. All right, hold on.
No, it's okay. It's okay because they got a roadmap and they knew it was coming.
Oh shit!
They know it's coming.
They knew it was not coming.
No. Now they know it's coming because they told them we're working on it. It's good.
Oh yeah.
Because what matters is the roadmap. They know it's coming. They know it's coming. So they should be happy. They're happy with everything else that they know is coming. It's okay. Hey, listen, Xbox people, if you want to play Black Myth Wukong, just know that while other people are gaming on it, you will know that it's coming, and that's better. That's better. That's the best thing you can have. That's the best thing you can have. Word maps. Word maps are so good. You don't want the word, you want the map of the word. That you don't want to drive. You want to look at the word map. So it's great. It's great.
Hey, I'll just say one thing. For the Xbox gamers that don't have a PlayStation or PC, and you're pissed off that you have to wait for Black Myth Wukong, I'm just gonna say this: none of us on this podcast or in the chat told you to get an Xbox. That's not our fault. Go to the other podcast; they got you. Talk to them. If you listen to us, you'll be playing Black Myth Wukong. Granted, you don't get roadmaps though. That's not what we do here. We get games. We get actual games to play. Roadmaps not so good. We're kind of light on the roadmaps. We got
the roadmap game is bad. We're bad on our roadmap.
It's bad. It's bad. It's not, we don't even got Google Maps. It's just all maps. The maps just don't work. They don't work. You can't connect to satellites.
You just go to the game and you figure it out.
You just play the games here. On this side of the house, you just got the games to play.
No
over there,
no roadmap.
No showcases and roadmaps here. That's just we don't do that in Wakanda, I guess. It's a new PlayStation, right? Anyway, hey, I want to say shout out. I hope you guys. It was a great podcast, great conversation. Too bad we didn't get the antagonizer in chief. He's probably still there fighting all the Xbox on Z's channel. But to all of you guys, to the super chats, to Ghost in Garage, hey, I'm right now paying my bill right now. Thank you very much. Appreciate the help and stuff. But shout out to everybody. I truly enjoy you guys. Thank you so much for rocking out. That's a weird note. But anyway, this is your only friend, these YouTube streets, PuertoRock77. We'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned for the rest of the week as I push out more content. Tomorrow, I will be doing a live, not here, but I'll be on MN2K's channel tomorrow at 5 p.m. West Coast time. He wants to do a one-on-one interview. If you remember MM2K, we used to do a lot of podcasts together. He was an Xbox dude. Then he saw the light. And then he tried to do the Stadia, cloud gaming thing. Yeah, he was one of those. And that thing, but he's a good dude. So I'll make sure I push out the link when that happens, and we should have a good time tomorrow. But for all of you, for all you guys, for all those who support Super Chat, the chat just showing up every day, everybody, I cannot overstate how much I truly appreciate you guys showing up week to week. And I hope you enjoyed the show. See you guys next week, and we're out of here. You guys take care. All right.
Also, just one thing. I just want to say, now you know why Portal doesn't like the Portal. Imagine with this internet, right?
Oh man.
Imagine with this internet. He can't even load the Twitter video.
I will fling the hell out of that Portal, boy. I will fling the hell out of that thing. Boy, I'll be like, I will be mad. Shit, now you know. That just don't pull.
Now you know.
No remote streaming for me.
You like it in Florida. Once it gets to Florida, you'll be like, "Shit, this is the best thing ever."
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is so great. I can see all my YouTube videos in 4K. This is amazing. All right, you guys take care. I never streamed 4K before. All right, you guys take care. Peace.
Oh
man.